WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I got to tell you, my wife and I, our bedroom is about 65 degrees. And the sleeping is perfect. I come into the studio, it's like a sauna. Holy cow, it's hot in here.
Well, those are good temperatures for sleeping, but when you're, awake and trying to be alert and survive,
Then it should be even cooler.
it should not.
Yeah,
No.
it really should.
No.
If you're home trying to watch TV in the comfort of your aged world, 72 is for you. But otherwise, let's keep it nice and cool. Okay, here we go with a Wednesday. Of course, I am going to do the countdown. I've been counting down since about 4 this morning to the moment that Ann calls from Rome. Ann from Rome will be calling and gloating about President Trump. And I think gloating and moping were the theme. It was the theme last night. So certainly the president was doing his own gloating. Congress doing their, literally laughing at the Democrats on the other side, the losers, who had their own horrible behavior. There was just no respect on any side last night. That's my take. I'm a hater of everybody at this point. So take that for what it's worth, which I enjoy that because I know that I'm pissing off everyone. It just last night was, and it went on for a long time.
Yeah, it was long. I'm tired. It's like it stayed up for the game. It was like a Monday or Sunday night football game. I stayed up for. It was
long. So we'll talk about that today, and the countdown is on. For Ann from Rome to call in, so let's see when that happens. Do you have a bet on when that'll happen? Will it be in the next 20 minutes? Will it not even happen, Andrew? Let's lay on the odds here.
I think she may call. I think she may call. She's been very excited these last however many days. What are they, 40-plus days here? Probably in the late 6 to early 7 o'clock hour.
Okay, I think that would be my bet.
Yeah.
So the only chance I have at winning is if I pick she's not going to call in, but I know she will. But I'll bet you and let you have a win on your next to the last day in studio.
I know, crazy to think about.
Andrew is leaving us. It is the truth. Yes, it's out there. He can't work with me. I am one of the most difficult people to work with in the world. And Andrew has just had enough.
I just can't do it anymore.
He's had enough.
Getting paid in CDs and everything.
Mm-hmm. Just like the old days. Just like the old days. Honestly, God, that's what it used to be like. Our phone screener, Vince, they didn't have a budget, but he was a huge heavy metal fan.
Oh,
and
nice.
the radio station got a ton of those, but didn't really play them. So Vince got all of the CDs that came in. He had an amazing collection.
That's an incredible gift.
Yeah. And until the very end when he became disgruntled, and I'll never forget the quote. "I can't feed myself with CDs," was his quote. And I'm like, Vince, I don't even know what that means.
You could sell them.
That's true.
Sell them and make some money.
Millions of dollars in CDs. Let's see. We'll talk to Tanya Powers coming up in a few minutes. Leaders in the Arab world gathered to endorse a counter proposal to Trump's Gaza plan. Maybe they want to have a big resort.
They may.
Right?
It's very beautiful. From what I've heard, the Gaza Strip is quite beautiful.
Oh, well, not so much.
Well,
right now.
I'm talking about.
But
how do I say? Let me
to-
rephrase. Geographically.
Yeah. It was a beautiful land, and certainly right now it's not as beautiful as it used to be. We are dealing with some rain today, and there are some flood watches in effect. You probably just should be prepared to really, because I think municipalities have done a good job becoming prepared, and they are making sure that the drains are cleaned out. Any of those areas where there could be ice jams, they've already been. They'll have a truck. If you were to look over at the bridge in Whitesboro, which you can look up online.
Oh yeah, I got to look that up.
I would bet you're going to see a big backhoe over there that's just on standby, doing everything that we can as a community to prevent really bad flooding from happening, and all it takes is an ice jam. And the thing that you don't think about is all of that snow to the north as it melts will end up in the hills. As it melts, will end up coming down into the valleys. We're expected to get about a quarter of an inch of rain over the next 24 hours, so be aware of all of that. This morning, we'll speak with Ryan Schmelz, a follow-up to last night's joint session of Congress. Hobica's free money question of the day. Sheriff Machel. We had a couple of one that was terrible. There was apparently a hit and run that occurred right over there near Nicky Doodles in the town of Verona.
Correct.
And a person who was walking along the highway was hit, and the driver drove off.
Yeah, they kept going, and I'm not sure if the latest update I saw was that the person turned themselves in.
All right, we'll speak with Sheriff Machel.
We'll find out.
There's another hit and run that occurred a couple of days before, and there is a photo of that. So this happened in, I believe it was it Westmoreland, and a vehicle was driving, tried to pass, I believe, on the right side. And are you looking at the live cam?
Yeah, I'm looking at that, and nothing really too severe just yet.
No, there's nothing really to look at.
Nothing really going on.
So maybe the backhoe is.
I was also looking to make sure to see if they've identified the driver.
So the other story, state police are looking for a hit-and-run driver who hit a vehicle, drove into the Westmo car wash there in Westmoreland, got out of his vehicle and inspected it, got back in and drove off, even though he had just hit a vehicle that he was passing on the right-hand side. I believe it was the right side is how that went down. The only way you can tell this vehicle, which I find amusing, like if you think you can get away.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You're not going to be able to get away.
There's cameras everywhere nowadays.
And there are cameras everywhere, but you also have a white truck. It's a white Toyota truck.
Oh, yes.
With a bright red MAGA tailgate. So
this was in the Westmoreland incident?
Yes. Oh, so there are only so many of those in the area. Eventually, someone's going to call police and say, yeah, that guy lives down the road from me. He drives by every single day.
Yeah. I just wish he would get his exhaust fixed.
Yeah, fix his exhaust. And
it's so loud.
You know, whether you're with him or you're not with him on the MAGA tailgate, he stands out like a sore thumb.
Yes, he does.
Right, which was the intention. That's why he custom painted that vehicle in honor of President Donald Trump. Anyway, he is, or she, could be a he or she. It really isn't, because it was a man that got out of the vehicle. Allegedly hitting the other vehicle is being sought after by police. Ryan Nobles from NBC. We'll get to him later this morning, a little earlier in the 8 o'clock hour. And Jeremy Rosenthal, Andrew's final Rosenthal report.
The Rosenthal report, the final one.
Is that what you're just going to end with that?
No, I mean, I can't. I mean, he's not on yet, so I don't want to.
Okay, you don't want to waste your waste your stuff there. So there you go. There you have it, the Rosenthal report. One of the takeaways from President Trump's address last night that I think we all can agree with, and I say that with a bit of a question mark, we all can agree with, is the statement where he said, let's get rid of maybe we get rid of the CHIPS Act, that CHIPS law, which funded, obviously, chip fabrication. And that is what is funding the Micron deal, which is supposed to bring hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs to the region and affect our area as well. Officials are all a bit nervous. He did look back to Mike Johnson and say, Mike, what do you think we get rid of that? And Mike Johnson stood and started applauding. So I do think that was, personally, I think that was for show. What do you think? And this would be a blow to the area if we lost the funding because they're in the middle of the project.
Yeah.
Or at the very beginning, middle of the beginning of the project.
The funding would be essential to help with Micron, and I know that both John Mannion, as one of his campaign promises, had basically said that he would work as hard as he can to keep that money in place, and also Brandon Williams did before he lost to John Mannion. That was one of his big issues there towards the end, where Mike Johnson came to do a fundraiser, and Trump
said
was
we're going to get rid of
it. That, and they said no, not really.
And it was Johnson. That's right. It was Johnson who said we'll get rid of it. Brandon Williams said, "Why would you do that? You're hurting my chances of getting reelected, you idiot." And I don't think he called him an idiot, but you know what I mean. And here we are. So
unless one of those Taiwanese companies wants to build in Clay or Marcy, I mean,
yeah, because right now I think it's Indiana that's getting all of the
big chunk of that,
all of the investments. So, Richard, I was just listening to the mayor of Utica talking about businesses created by the hospital in the area. I'm wondering why 72 isn't open for business except during hockey games. If the hospital creates business, the 72 is a fabulous place to eat and drink. Wonder why they stay closed. Can you research into it? I guess I didn't know they were closed during the day. I think they're open on the like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I don't know the answer. Maybe it's
during
just the hockey games.
During the off season they're closed too, right?
They are closed during the off season. Yeah, I do think that we were talking about that with the mayor, how business has not developed down there as of yet, and my belief is it's still going to take time. It's still going to take something to happen. Maybe in Marcy and more to happen downtown. But this is not going to be that quick. On the line right now is Tanya J. Powers with Fox News Radio. Tanya, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
We're all a little tired here this morning after last night's lengthy speech. It was. I thought it was. I don't know what your take is. I know you're not on about this, Tanya, but I thought there were no insults. It was really just a pleasant kumbaya patriotic moment for America last night.
We've come to. It's exactly what we've come to expect.
It is.
It's kumbaya all the way.
It is.
Exactly.
And by the way, I was 6 cocktails in when I started watching. So
when you started, oh boy, oh man,
boy. All right. Now the president's plan for Gaza is not necessarily what Arab leaders are thinking of. So they're working on a counter proposal. What do you know about it, Tanya? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, they had an emergency summit in Cairo yesterday. And when I'm talking about I'm talking about the representatives of all 22 Arab League members, as well as the UN Secretary General and the European Council President. So this was more than just, 2 or 3 countries getting together and deciding something.
Yeah.
What they were doing was they were coming there to talk about, and ultimately did endorse, a plan it was a counter proposal basically to President Trump's call to, clean out Gaza and make it the Middle Eastern Riviera. This was quite stunning to a lot of people when he released that video a few days ago for, basically Trump Gaza. That surprised a lot of folks, and quite frankly, apparently moved the Arab leaders to immediately have a summit and discuss something else. They have now endorsed the plans that would keep the Palestinians in Gaza, rebuild the territory, turn it into part of a future Palestinian state without Hamas in government. President Trump's call was to basically clean out Gaza and remove the Palestinians from Gaza.
Yeah.
So this is, obviously a quite a different counter proposal. The countries did approve that plan that was put forth by Egypt to spend $53 billion to rebuild Gaza, but not move the Palestinians out of it, which is, again, one of the big pieces of that is quite different. Israeli leaders obviously are opposing, embarking on any kind of, path forward that would, lead to Palestinian sovereignty. So that is one of the things that is obviously a sticking point for all of this. For Hamas, they put out a statement that said they'd be willing to hand over control of the civilian affairs to a governing committee, of which the group is not a part of that. Hamas would not be part of that,
right,
as long as the future of Gaza was determined by Palestinian, quote, national consensus. That is what the direct wording from that statement was. By the way, the Egyptian plan also does call for the UN Security Council, to deploy an international peacekeeping force to secure Gaza and the West Bank, which is Israeli occupied. It does not really specify which countries might send troops, but that is part of the plan that they have all kind of signed on to and endorsed.
Well, it does when you hear the talk about the future of Gaza. It is in the back of your mind. I don't care who you are. You got to be thinking. I have no confidence that this problem is going to be solved. That in 10 years we're going to be, debating the same issues. This has just been going on and on and on forever, and it is a tough nut to crack. I would think.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember being, a child hearing about hearing about peace in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That was the thing that a lot of us grew up listening to and, understanding, okay, this is clearly an issue, but regardless of whether we could understand why it was an issue or not, and it's still going on, decades later. So, but I think the general view of people, as far as like what we're getting from this is, well, we got to do something,
Yeah.
So who knows whether this will be signed on to by other countries and other leaders, and how far this will go. But that's the proposal that they have countered the Trump Gaza proposal with.
I do enjoy the president when he talks about this. He'll say things like, "We just can't let those people go back. It's just terrible. They could not live there, and they don't want to go back there. We're going to help them because they do not want to go back." And, they all love the idea of being replaced and temporarily, of course, maybe for the next 10, 20, 30 years. And we'll, we're going to build a beautiful place. It is his optimism. Meanwhile, the people, the Palestinians are like, we don't want to leave. We want to come back. So, and it really was a beautiful place. That has just been destroyed by war. So crazy. All right, Tanya, as always, we appreciate your input and your time, and have a wonderful Wednesday.
Thank you. You too.
All right, Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. It's going to be beautiful. People say more beautiful than they've ever seen, but it really was beautiful.
It was. Now it'll be even more beautiful.
It may be more beautiful, and it'll be
there'll be a golf course,
the Gaza Riviera, golf, and just a lot of joy and a lot of like Dubai. It's gonna be like Dubai.
I have a cousin who lives in Dubai, and she loves it.
Have you had the Dubai chocolate yet?
No, but everybody's obsessed with it.
Megan is in the other room. Davey's not in yet. Megan, have you had
it?
The Dubai chocolate yet?
I have had the Dubai chocolate.
Yeah, so we have it.
Is
it real quality Dubai chocolate?
It is delicious, Andrew. It puts in like the fine phyllo. There's a good amount of a crunch, and then you have a little bit of pistachio in it, and really nice chocolate. That's not too sweet, but it has I hate to say it, but the only way I could describe it is it has a good mouthfeel.
Great. So day one of my fast, I'm thinking of Dubai chocolate.
Utica Coffee has a nice Dubai chocolate latte that they brought as a trial. And yesterday they made an announcement that because it was so successful, it's now a permanent item on their menu. It is delicious.
So we brought a bunch back from New York when we came back, and my wife had this, and it was a pistachio. It was almost like a smoothie filled with melted and crushed Dubai chocolate.
Well,
and it just was. I swear, I took one bite, one little spoonful, and I put on 10 pounds. But it is, and then the actual chocolate bar itself, is. If you can get a hold of some, I'm assuming is it expensive? I don't know what my wife even paid for it.
I don't know either, but maybe if somebody who sells the Dubai chocolate can call in and let us know.
It's something.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe when she comes for the wedding, my cousin will bring some
You should
quality Dubai chocolate from Dubai.
You should request. Is it really Dubai from Dubai? Because I got to tell you, I think the president just announced last night during the speech, he's thinking about changing it to American chocolate.
American Dubai chocolate.
Not even Dubai. No.
They're not involved.
What he's saying is go buy American chocolate is what it's now going to be called. Go buy American chocolate.
Dubai American chocolate.
Please do buy American
if it's produced
chocolate.
in America, it's probably going to be bidet chocolate.
It might be. Well, and the other is maybe we call it the Gaza chocolate when Trump when he's done. That's what it'll be. But that chocolate, if you get a chance to get some, is really something special.
I saw a meme where the Bermuda Triangle. It was who was Mad Men? Who was the main star there?
Oh, yeah.
The main character. So the pitch guy there.
Yeah.
Don Draper, he's pitching the idea of instead of the Bermuda Triangle, it's the American Triangle. And you can see that it's the triangle where all the planes were lost.
We've found all the planes. All right, quick break. Andrew updates the news. Coming right up at WIBX.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tires all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tires all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
Mattress Express's closeout sale on brand new leftover inventory and floor models. Right now, buy a king or queen and get a free adjustable base. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans available as well.
Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar with racing-inspired patented full suspension and integrated cutting decks so you can go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Ferris Experience Suspension. Take advantage of the best financing and prices of the year. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power in power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 640. I'm Andrew Derminio. A pedestrian is dead after being struck by a vehicle in Oneida County. The sheriff's office says 61-year-old Timothy Sullivan died after being hit in the town of Verona around 7 p.m. Monday. The vehicle involved in the crash did not stay at the scene. Anyone with information is asked to contact the sheriff's Criminal Investigations Unit. A man from Syracuse who was previously pardoned for his involvement on January 6th is pleading guilty to another charge. Matthew Green was a member of the Proud Boys when he breached the Capitol building in 2021. He was charged with felony conspiracy but pardoned by President Trump. Now Green is pleading guilty to criminal possession of a weapon after guns and ammunition were found in his home on January 6th. He will not serve any jail time, instead being sentenced to 1 year of conditional discharge. Police are investigating a deadly stabbing that happened in Syracuse. Police responded to the 200 block of East Fayette Street before 4:30 a.m. Tuesday. Officers found a 44-year-old man with a stab wound to his neck. He died at the hospital. The Syracuse Police Department Criminal Investigations Division is looking into the incident. And Fire Festival 2 is just a couple months away, but its host island says the event, quote, does not exist. Tickets went on sale ranging in price from $1,400 to over $1 million. However, authorities of the Mexican island Isla Mujeres, where the event is scheduled to begin on May 30th, says they don't know about it. A representative told The Guardian that
because it doesn't exist. This is so unbelievable. I just saw a piece. Again? I saw a piece on it might have been 60 Minutes that he's doing it again. He's selling tickets, and right now there are no acts who have signed up.
Yeah, Billy McFarland and Fire Festival 2 organizers thought they would begin planning the event and ask for permits later, saying it's a naive way to think.
I just don't understand how they could do this again. Didn't he
went
go to jail?
prison? Yeah, he went to prison for fraud related to the first Fire Festival, spelled Fyre, in 2018.
Okay, it is what it is, right?
It is indeed what it is.
If you're willing to pay the $15,000 for a ticket, then you've got $15,000 to burn.
Yeah, literally. Put it in a fire pit.
Yep.
In a barrel and light it on fire. Or give it to me. I'll take it.
Sure you will.
Flood watches for some as the rain comes in and showers around. Maybe some rain as we get into the afternoon and steadier, heavier rainfall. Cause some localized flooding, especially where there's more snowpack. 50 degrees today. More rain tonight, tapering off to showers later, 40. Quite breezy tomorrow with a chance of rain showers on over to snow showers later with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick from the Weather Channel. WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we're at 39 degrees under cloudy skies at 6:43.
So, Richard, piping in heavily this morning. Maybe I misheard you both, but didn't you say a quarter of an inch of rain? We're expected through tomorrow to get over 2 inches of rain and snowmelt equaling up to 3 inches of rain. That's a lot. All I can tell you is the National Weather Service is saying a quarter inch. I'm just repeating what they're saying.
I don't ever mention the
all I'm
amount
saying,
of precipitation.
Richard, just so you know, we don't just make it up. We are, and we're not. I am not a meteorologist. Andrew might be.
No,
he's not.
I don't even play one on TV anymore.
Is not. So we just kind of repeat what they're telling us.
Yeah.
And that's what they're telling us. But if you say over how many inches? What did he say?
2.
Over 3 inches of rain.
3. Wow.
And melt, and the snow melt. That's going to be an awful lot.
Well, that will be a bad situation.
I don't know if you saw last night during the president's speech, Representative Al Green was escorted out for protesting. Here's some audio of his protest last night against President Trump. He had a cane. It kept tapping it down.
It was a message of unity.
It was kind of a message of unity. I don't know.
I'm so in love with you.
And I don't know why they kicked him out for this. Why would they kick him out? I don't understand it. Yeah, sorry. That was just part of the fun last night.
I saw a meme at one point that said, President Biden was very upset that Al Green was thrown out of the chamber due to the fact that "Let's Stay Together" was he and Jill's wedding song. I was very, very upset about it.
It might have been. Got a break. We got a bunch more to get to, and I have some audio from last night as well. Still waiting on the tick-tock here. The clock is going down. Will, Ann, and Rome calling this morning for some Trump gloating. We'll see. My expectation is she will sometime before 7:10. We'll see. 6:45 WIBX.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop D-O-double-G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line. Plus, 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that jingle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with AutoPay. Well-qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99. Credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence available now.
Are you a CDPAP home care user or caregiver? Switch to PPL before April 1st to ensure a smooth transition. It's fast and easy, over the phone, online, at an in-person or virtual session, or with a CDPAP facilitator. Call PPL at 833-247-5346. That's 833-247-5346. Visit pplfirst.com/CDPAP. Register today. A message from the New York State Health Department.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right, I will say portions of the program brought to you by GPO. Federal Credit Union. Simplify your finances with balance transfer rates as low as 3.99% APR for 12 months, or consolidate high-interest debt into one manageable payment with their personal loans as well. And they don't stop there. GPO has partnered with a program called Balance to provide you with free virtual or in-person sessions with financial advisors. Together, you and they will create a personalized plan to help you take control of your finances and achieve your goals. Why, Andrew, would you wait? Let GPO help you start fresh this year. Visit gpofcu.com or stop by any branch today. Debt-free, stress-free. Start your journey with GPO today.
From what I've heard, they've got good rates on certain products, too.
Absolutely do. Absolutely do. Do you want me to do the disclosure? See how fast I can do it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
You going to time me?
Hold on. Yep. Ready. And we are starting the time.
And 3, 2, and 1. Subject to credit approval, membership eligibility required, rates and terms based on credit worthiness. Balance transfer rates reverts back to normal card rate after the 12th month. Contact GPO for more information. Boom.
Wonderful.
And that's done. Richard, I'm not questioning you as to how much rain we're going to get. I know we're going to get rain. I'm just saying what the National Weather Service is saying. By the way, there's an addendum to this forecast. They're saying the flood watch that is going into effect this morning in about 10 minutes has nothing to do with the amount of rainfall we're getting.
Yeah, so there's a hazardous weather outlook and there's also a flood watch, both from the National Weather Service, neither of which, I should say, mention anything about the totals for snowfall or for rain. It says that this flood watch is in effect for northern Oneida and southern Oneida counties, including Utica, Rome, and Boonville. Flood watch for snowmelt remains in effect from 7 a.m. this morning through Thursday afternoon.
And they're saying it's the snowmelt.
Yeah. Flooding caused by snowmelt continues to be possible.
Okay. I do have some comments here that I want to get to here this morning, and then a bunch of stuff I can get to. Out of Donna, I don't know where this is coming from, but you're saying the air quality is 38 here. What does that mean? Actually, I just switched to our air quality here, and it is not green. We're at 52, and it's in the yellow.
In the moderate
stage.
Okay, so you can still go outside.
I don't know. I mean, that's not nearly anything like what we were dealing with back when those fires were coming through. But I'm guessing maybe the rain is bringing down pollutants from wildfires in the Carolinas. Have they come north? I don't know. I have no idea. Wayne with some comments as well. He's saying one of the things to watch out for right now is a lot of people walking in the road not dressed for gear for walking in the road. Narrow streets, they repeat, they walk here because the sidewalks are not cleared. So he says. Then says they repeat crime because you can get away with it. You just get a slap on the hand. As for the fire festival, they were, that's just the funniest thing in the world. And it is. I can't even believe the guy's getting away with it all over again.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
At least he's kind of being more upfront about the fact, well, I haven't really planned it yet, but it's going to happen eventually.
Rob on last night, the rest of the world can't do anything when that was Monday. When the Dems can't stand up for a child with cancer and the family of a man killed during Trump's assassination attempt tells you all you need to know about the Dems. Disgusting people, disgusting party. That's Rob's opinion. By the way, Rob has no friends.
He doesn't?
He has a few GOP friends, but other than that, he doesn't like anybody. They're disgusting.
We have Deeds in New Hartford. Honest question: has the win brought all of the world-renowned doctors to the area that it said it would? Does the housing market really feel a positive effect like everyone involved with the win said it would? Did Micron show us that it has brought thousands of jobs to the area, also affecting the housing market?
Well, Micron is just getting started.
Right.
So
yeah, I think you might be confusing it with...
Yeah. Listen, you make it, you build it, you hope for the most, and we're a hell of a lot better off right now than we were 25 years ago. We really are. And I just say you this next step, we talked about this with Pacini, and maybe we'll talk more when we have him on next. But it is the next step. This is going to be very important. We've had all these big things happening. How do we bring that next development into the area to make sure that people are shopping downtown? Because there isn't a downtown in a city like ours, the size of ours, anywhere in America that's really killing it downtown. Okay.
Then he says, I don't know, seems like a lot of smoke and mirrors. That's just all I say.
Okay.
Complete the comment in fairness.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks for that. And a little drum roll, please. A little bit of a drum roll. Could I get just a little something? And now, ladies and gentlemen, very big, we go to the phone lines. On the line right now is Ann from Rome. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Ann. Good morning,
Ann.
You beat the allotted at the average better this morning.
What I said is
the average better
6,
was, but late 6 doesn't start till 55, and it's 54. Andrew.
Okay.
I think somebody else won this bet. Good morning, Ann.
Good morning. What he knocked it out of the park last night.
Okay.
My president did a great job, as usual. Rob, I'm your new friend.
Yes, you like
when
Rob.
You cannot stand up and applaud for what he did for the women that got murdered, women that have to put up with these guys in sports, the young man going to West Point. When I saw that young man with brain cancer, not because I'm going through myself,
the little boy,
13 years old, a young man
who wants to be a police
and when
officer.
They made him a Secret Service agent.
That was really something. When he hugged the agent.
Yeah,
I thought that was something that we all could look at and say, "Wow, that was a." And I really think he kind of teared up a little bit. Yeah. Not the kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that was something.
And of course, you get people like Rachel Maddow already went at the president for doing that, making it political.
Can I just say? Can I say where you'll disagree with me, Ann? And I do not ever want you to disagree with me. I just want you to know that.
No, you don't want to disagree with her.
I hate when Republicans do that. I hate when Democrats do it. I just think it just gets to the point where it's exploiting so the mother has to stand up there while he goes on and on and on about how her daughter was butchered, and I get it. She's probably somewhat happy, but I just hate those moments when Biden did it. George Washington probably did it. Like the person that she was trying to knit a flag, and she got killed by one of those musket loaders. I hate it persononly.
But they could refuse to go. Say, look.
But listen. I understand. They could, but you're being asked by a president of the United States. I'm just telling you my opinion For what
Right,
it
and
is
that's
worth,
my opinion.
I hate those things when they happen. But it was emotional last night. That little boy was. I mean, and Ann, you know, you and I have
I cried.
the C word in common, and it was emotional. It was really, you felt bad for that little kid.
But I do have to say, when the Democrats had signs that say protect veterans, that put me over the top. They want to protect the veterans. Are they talking about the ones that they have let live on the streets, that are homeless, that are being treated, but they take care of the $500 a day rooms for the illegals?
Yeah.
Is that who they want to protect, those veterans? Disgusting. They should all be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
It was
I like the signs that said
absolutely
Musk
disgusting.
steals.
Musk steals.
Okay.
Well, Musk was, and then the other thing is, could we? Another piece of advice I would give is, when you're introducing somebody, could we move it on a little quicker? Because Musk had to keep doing the pray thing, the point thing, the move thing, pray to the left, pray to the right, and then he'd have to start it all over again because the camera's still on him, and he's like, "When is
he
this?"
was wearing a suit though,
He
which was nice to
wearing
see.
a suit, which I believe was a Zelensky, the maker
brand?
of the suit.
Oh, is
it
it?
was a
Yeah.
Zelensky brand
The
suit.
Ukrainian brand.
Yeah, I think it was.
And the Dems didn't even applaud for the letter that he received from Zelensky.
Oh, okay. I listen, Ann. Shortly around the time you were texting me last night, I was falling asleep, and I just kind of rolled over, and I'm like, I'll watch the replay in the morning. So
I thought I would be sleeping by then because I'm old.
you're not
It
old.
was-
You're
I just could not believe he knocked it out of the park. He did everything he said he was going to do, and he's going to do more.
All right.
God bless America. God bless my president, best ever, Donald Trump.
All right,
Have a
Ann.
good day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ann.
I knew it was coming. That's exactly how I would expect her to respond. Personally, as I said earlier, I hated it all. I hated the Democrats. I hated the Republicans. I hated all of it. I long for the day when these things used to be boring, and I'm not sure we're ever going to go back to that, to be honest. Maybe, but I doubt it. Got a break. We have news. Davey, welcome to the program. We have news coming up at WIBX.
Fix all your fender benders, small or big. Call Malgeri's Auto Body before you call your insurance company. Let Malgeri's take care of everything from start to finish. They work with all major providers and use factory paint and parts, plus laser measuring to make your vehicle new again. It's 100% guaranteed, and Malgeri's always details your car before they return it. Malgeri's Auto Body, now located at 1216 Bleecker Street, Utica. Call 315-735-4488, keeping you on the road since 1928.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
America is back. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump told us last night.
America's momentum is back. Our spirit is back. Our pride is back. Our confidence is back.
Saying in an hour, 40-minute address before a joint session of Congress, he's accomplished more in 6 weeks than other presidents in 4 years, delivering on what he called an election mandate.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
And as Democrats booed the president, some holding up signs fast and false, and this is not normal, Republicans drowned them out with that USA chant. But then Democratic Congressman Al Green got loud, shouting at the president, waving his cane.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Then House Speaker Mike Johnson had Green removed, prompting the president to say there's nothing that he can say in his speech to make the Democrats happy.
Or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
After he was finished,
Senator Alyssa Slotkin gave the Democratic response.
Don't tune out. It's easy to be exhausted, but America needs you now more than ever. If previous generations had not fought for this democracy, where would we be today?
Slotkin said Ronald Reagan would be appalled at Trump's approach to stopping Russia's war in Ukraine.
As Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Well, days after the White House confrontation, President Trump read a letter during the speech sent by Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelensky.
Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts.
Now, the president also announced last night an ISIS terrorist has been captured, believed responsible for the terror attack during the 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan that killed 13 Americans.
This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them.
America's listening to Fox News.
It's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard. With a qualifying plan, you can choose an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for $0. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks, just honest-to-goodness wireless price right. Dial pound 250, you say the keywords Pure Talk, claim your new iPhone or Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk, which is America's wireless company. Visit puretalk.com for details.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it.
Woo!
Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It could get contentious at the House today. The Republican-led Oversight Committee plans to question the mayors of Boston, Chicago, Denver, and New York City about their policies and not cooperating with federal immigration raids targeting and aiming to deport criminals here illegally. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu says she's ready.
We have already seen some materials put out in advance that seems designed to try to heighten interest and frame it as some kind of showdown or dramatic moment.
The day after Senate Democrats blocked a bill aiming to keep transgender athletes out of women's sports, Indiana's Republican Governor Mike Braun signs an executive order.
The governor says it ensures fairness in women's sports, saying it creates opportunities for young women to earn scholarships and develop leadership skills. The order mandates that Indiana's state schools must comply with the 2020 Title IX rule rather than the 2024 Biden administration's reinterpretation that extended protections. Braun was joined by San Jose State University volleyball player Ellie Patterson, who claims she lost out on a scholarship to a trans athlete. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
In men's college basketball, the top team in the country lost. Auburn upset by 22nd-ranked Texas A&M 83-72. In the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers won their 11th straight game, beating Chicago 139-117. And in the LA Lakers, 136-115 win over New Orleans.
LeBron James became the first player in NBA history to score 50,000 combined points in the regular season and postseason, getting over the mark against the New Orleans Pelicans Tuesday night. James is already the NBA's top scorer for the regular season, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in February of 2023, and for the playoffs, passing Michael Jordan in 2017. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
In college baseball, George Mason beat Holy Cross 26-6, scoring 23 of those runs in one inning. That's an NCAA record. They had 11 hits, 8 walks, 5 batters hit by pitches. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising after another sell-off. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. A pedestrian is dead after being struck by a vehicle in Oneida County. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says 61-year-old Timothy Sullivan died after being hit in the town of Verona around 7 p.m. Monday. The vehicle involved in the crash did not stay at the scene. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Sheriff's Criminal Investigation Unit. A man from Syracuse who was previously pardoned for his involvement on January 6th is pleading guilty to another charge. Matthew Green was a member of the Proud Boys when he breached the Capitol building in 2021. He was charged with felony conspiracy but pardoned by President Trump. Now Green is pleading guilty to criminal possession of a weapon after guns and ammunition were found in his home on January 6th. He will not serve any jail time, instead be sentenced to 1 year of conditional discharge. Police are investigating a deadly stabbing in Syracuse. Police responded to the 200 block of East Fayette Street before 4:30 in the morning yesterday. Officers found a 44-year-old man with a stab wound to his neck. He later died at the hospital. The Syracuse Police Department Criminal Investigations Division is investigating. There's a boil water advisory in effect for a portion of Marcy, small portion. The Mohawk Valley Water Authority announced due to a water main break at the intersection of Woodlawn Place and Kenwood Road, Mohawk Valley Water customers in parts of Woodlawn Place are under that boil water advisory. Addresses from 5444 to 5478 on Woodlawn are to be advised to boil water. That advisory will be in effect for the impacted areas for approximately 48 hours until lab tests can confirm the advisory is liftable. And Big Bear's famous bald eagles, Jackie and Shadow, are parents once again. One of the 3 eggs in their nest hatched shortly after 11 o'clock Monday night. A pip, the first sign of hatching, appeared on the egg on Sunday afternoon. Jackie and Shadow may soon become parents to 2 eagles. On Monday, a pip could be seen on a second egg via the 24/7 live-streamed camera monitoring the nest. The growing eagle family lives in a tree 145 feet above the forest near Big Bear Lake. This is the first time one of their eggs has hatched since 2022. That's in Big Bear, California. It is 7:08. Here's your forecast from the Weather Channel.
Flood watches for some as the rain comes in and showers around. Maybe some rain as we get into the afternoon and steadier, heavier rainfall. Cause some localized flooding, especially where there's more snowpack. 50 degrees today. More rain tonight, tapering off to showers later, 40. Quite breezy tomorrow with a chance of rain showers on over to snow showers later with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick from the Weather Channel. WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We're at 40 degrees under cloudy skies. It is 7:08. In sports, the Jets continue to shake up their roster as the green and white released veteran wide receiver Devontae Adams on Tuesday. The 32-year-old finished with 67 catches, 854 yards, and 7 touchdowns in 11 games after being acquired from the Las Vegas Raiders. According to ESPN, the Jets have also given permission to wide receiver Allen Lazard to seek a trade before the start of the league year on March 12th. So it seems they're ridding the team of anything that has any trace of Aaron Rodgers. The Knicks were unable to extend their winning streak to 4 after falling to the Golden State Warriors 114-102 at Madison Square Garden. OG Anunoby led all scorers with 29 points for the Knicks. They're now third in the Eastern Conference at 40-21 and will visit the Los Angeles Lakers tomorrow night at Crypto.com Arena. The Islanders bounced back from their recent loss after topping the Winnipeg Jets 3-2 at UBS Arena. New York is now 7th in the Eastern Conference wild card with 63 points at 28, 26, and 7. They'll visit the San Jose Sharks Saturday night at SAP Center. The Rangers are looking to stay hot after earning back-to-back shutouts and winning 4 of their last 5. The Blue Shirts are hosting the Washington Capitals tonight at Madison Square Garden. Tonight's contest is the finale of the regular season series. Washington has won each of the first 2 matchups. New York is second in the Eastern Conference wild card with 66 points at 31, 26, and 4. The Yankees crushed the Philadelphia Phillies after cruising to a 12-3 victory in Clearwater. Will Warren was credited with the win after striking out 4 and allowing 1 run over 3 innings pitched. The Bronx Bombers are 6-4 and will continue Grapefruit League play when they host the Minnesota Twins tomorrow afternoon in Tampa. And the Mets came up short after falling to the St. Louis Cardinals 6-1 in Jupiter. Tyler McGill was tagged with the loss after allowing 1 run on 2 hits over 2 2/3.
I had somebody ripping.
Syracuse
I think
lost
they're
too.
having fun. They lost, by the way. You don't mention the fact that game they were up by double digits, and it with like 10 minutes left, they had a 5-point lead, and SMU scored to win the game on the buzzer. So it was a close game. It was a nail biter, but you knew it was going to get blue.
Yeah.
By you got
SMU.
You got the goods, Davey. Good, nice. We just sent Davey out for a whole barrel of marijuana, so we're all gonna send
because
Andrew.
We got high.
So anyway, the that game ended that way, and then somebody ripping yesterday in fun about the Mets. Like, your Mets are getting crushed in preseason. Like, okay, they're playing minor leaguers. They're looking to see who. This is what the preseason is all about.
Spring training.
Spring training is about.
Got to work the kinks out and
training. Yeah. I'm not worried. Spring training.
Shake off the rust.
Preseason scores. I'm not worried about. And Richard is not done. Listen, I just saw on KTV and their website they have us getting over an inch today and more tomorrow. Look at it. I'm not going to look at it. I don't care what everybody's doing. I'm just saying what the National Weather Service said. It's not a big deal. All right, I'm going to start saying, according to Richard, 3 inches of rain. Because you're not mentioning the fact, Richard, that they're saying 3 inches. No, 1 inch. And you're saying 3. So we'll see who's right. Is it 3? Is it a half?
Yeah, right. So
is it 1? And
he's changing his prediction.
Here's my favorite. Will anybody really know?
Yeah, how do you? It's not like you go out to.
They'll know. They can know. They measure rainfall, but I mean, it's a hard number to. When it snows a lot, everybody's sharing their amount of snowfall. With rain, it's different. Am I talking about this? I can't even believe it. Let me break. Coming up, we'll speak with Sean Colletta, town of Whitestown supervisor, the latest of what they're doing with flood zones and the latest buyout plan from FEMA. We'll get to that with Sean coming up at WIBX.
Stop by White's Farm Supply today to see how Cub Cadet commercial equipment is built for business. Now through March 31st, take 20% off all Cub Cadet commercial lawnmowers built to endure the demands of serious landscapers with powerful engines, wide cutting decks, and premium comfort. Don't delay. Head to White's Farm Supply today. Inventory may vary by dealer. Cannot be applied with any other discount. No cash value except where prohibited. Promotion is subject to change. Other restrictions may apply. Call your dealer or visit cubcadet.com for details.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tires all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tires all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
This is Anthony Constantino, CEO of Sticker Mule. I'm a proud Trump supporter, running for Congress for the seat being vacated by Elise Stefanik. I built a successful internet company with nearly 1,000 people in upstate New York. However, much of upstate New York suffers from lack of access to high-speed internet that's necessary to build great companies and enable high-paying remote jobs. In fact, much of our district lacks access to strong, dependable cell phone service too. Of course, we must have both for public safety and to grow the economy. When elected to Congress, I will work quickly with President Trump to fix this problem. With high-speed internet, dependable cell service, and by renewing President Trump's tax cuts, both for businesses and individuals, we will create jobs and return economic prosperity to upstate New York. Follow me, Anthony Constantino, on Facebook today to learn more about my plans to make New York great again. I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
When you choose Bassett Healthcare Network for your surgical needs, you'll get amazing care from a devoted team of surgical specialists. Bassett surgeons offer many advanced services, including minimally invasive and robotic procedures. Surgeons are accepting new patients at convenient locations in Cooperstown, Oneonta, Delhi, Little Falls, and Herkimer. Choose a remarkable Bassett surgeon and discover a team you can trust. Visit bassett.org/remarkable surgeons to learn more.
Mattress Express's closeout sale on brand new leftover inventory and floor models. Right now, buy a king or queen and get a free adjustable base. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans available as well.
It's Brian Kilmeade.
Here's the deal on J.D. Vance. 9 things that you're not going to like about him. Not even a moment to say, hey, now your ticket's formed. It's going to be a great 4 months. Let's have at it in a civil way. That would have been a normal thing to do. Is his staff missing the moment? Are they that bad? Do they think the only way to win is to create tension, make the other guys look unelectable still?
Brian Kilmeade, weekday mornings at 9 on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
We just checked, and Whitestown Town Supervisor Sean Coletta says we're going to get 10 inches of rain today. That's what he's saying. So what do you say? I'm just kidding. Good morning, Sean. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Good to be with you. I certainly hope we don't get
10 inches would be
not be good.
No,
that would not be
good for anyone.
Yeah. Although even today, I am worried about we're going to get a lot of rain over the next 24 hours, and there will be a great deal of runoff. But it will slow. It looks like it's going to get cold again on Friday. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but we're kind of getting hit with incremental warming trends here. And then it cools off, and then it gets warm. I think next Wednesday, Thursday, it's a cycle. I think we're going to get warm again for a couple of days. That seems to be okay. Am I correct?
Yeah, knock on wood. The forecast really has been just about perfect the past couple weeks. Temperatures in the mid-40s, cooling back down at night, not a lot of rain. As long as we don't get too much rain today, I think we'll be okay. But obviously this time of year is always concerning, especially with the significant snowpack we still have on the ground.
Yeah, there is still a lot out there. All right, what is the latest with the buyout program with FEMA?
Sure. So the buyout program is one major piece of our overall Sequoia Creek Channel and Floodplain Restoration Program. But the buyout program is moving forward full steam ahead. Matter of fact, within the last month or so, the town board is in the process of scheduling our first 5 closings. As part of the program, I know that this has been a long, tedious, difficult process, but the town of Whitestown, as we've been from the beginning, are committed to getting this done. The bottom line is that regardless of how much mitigation we do, regardless of what potential bridge work we do, the DOT is having a public information meeting on March 12th at 4 o'clock at Whitesboro Middle School about the Oriskany Boulevard Bridge and the Main Street Bridge, and potentially widening those with that work scheduled to begin in 2027. Despite all of that stuff, there's not a 100% fix to flooding, and that's why the buyout program remains critically important.
Yeah.
But we are moving ahead. It's a big undertaking for Whitestown, but it's moving forward.
Now, I've been hearing, from my other realm here, different things about conditions and who might be the first to receive their closing date for that buyout program. Is there any truth to you have to have you have to find a place, you have to have a place that a new location, or what are some of the parameters?
Bribes, Andrew, bribes.
Yeah, right. Is that
That's
what
how
it
it's
is?
done.
Is that
Yeah.
what it is? Yeah.
Sure. So the town of Whitestown, along with the Natural Resources Conservation Service, the federal agency that is funding the buyout program, we're not in the business of kicking people out of their homes, and we're going to be as flexible as possible to the greatest extent possible. So you don't have to be in another home. But, what we're doing with the scheduling of closings is in an effort to be as fair as possible and also prioritize and be as efficient as possible. We're starting with the homes that are already vacant and with those that already reside elsewhere. And then we are moving on to the homes that are most susceptible to flooding,
sure,
in accordance with a inundation study that was completed by an engineering consultant about 4 years ago.
What is the process if you're living in one of these areas and you decide I don't want to move? We're gonna do our own preparations. We're gonna live with it. We're gonna deal with it. Can they do that, or are we saying, this basically this stretch of land is condemned?
It is still a voluntary program. The town of Whitestown, NRCS, our partners are still highly encouraging folks to remain in the program. Actually, homeowners that aren't in the program can still get in the program.
Okay.
But we're encouraging folks to participate. And look, I know that economic conditions in the market have changed over the past few years. Interest rates have gone up. The price of homes have gone up. And it's more difficult to find a home. Unfortunately, those are factors that myself at the town level can't control. But at the end of the day, this is about helping people. And there are people that reside in that neighborhood that have literally been flooded and lost everything 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And that's what we're trying to prevent.
One of the problems you're gonna have, you're a homeowner there, and you just have to look at the writing on the wall. The longer you go, there's a good, and it seems like our weather is more volatile. The longer you go, the chance is that the less your property is going to be worth. As time goes on.
It's difficult in a flood zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy to point to development upstream, and that certainly is a factor. But we receive more rainfall as a region, as a Northeast region, than ever. There's been a 70% increase in what's called intense rainfall events in the Northeast since 1960. So we're receiving more rain than ever, and we're receiving it in shorter durations.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully today won't be like that. But Mother Nature is changing, and that's a huge factor.
So you feel it's because you'll hear people say, well, until they did all that development in New Hartford along Commercial Drive, we didn't have these problems. But you're saying it's not all one thing. It really is a combination of that, probably
the CSX bridge
and the increase in in rainfall, and really it's been rain except for this year.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of factors, from overdevelopment to, like I said, increased rainfall to undersized infrastructure that needs to be upsized to adjust to the times and changing conditions, not just bridges but culverts. So that's what I'm most proud of our program that we started at the town level, is that it is a holistic approach, and it's tackling all major components, not just one, so we can make the biggest difference as possible.
Right.
So looking ahead to those who choose to opt into the buyout program, what will happen with those homes? Will they be demolished?
Yes, those homes will eventually be demolished. Obviously, we're going to try to move as quickly as possible with that process. But the way it's going to work is that we close on a home. Within 24 to 48 hours, that home is going to be boarded up, and then we are going to be working towards demolition. The town is going to have to issue an RFP to solicit a contractor or multiple contractors, and then retain contractors to get that work done. But yes, those homes that are bought out will be demolished.
And you'll be reimbursed by FEMA?
So it's not FEMA, it's the Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Okay.
It's underneath the Department of Agriculture, but yes, this is a fully funded program by the federal government.
All right, very, very interesting. A problem we're dealing with more and more as the weather does change, and then out of nowhere we get a left hook like we had this winter.
My goodness.
I'll call it a left hook. It really felt like it.
We've been spoiled. We've been spoiled the past 4, 5, 6 years. It was a tough one.
We have. Did you hear that 4 snowmobile businesses just popped up on Commercial Drive? And just think about, we lost all of that. I mean, you go back 25 years, there were several places you could buy a snowmobile, big places. Shenango Imports was one of the biggest. I mean, they did huge business. And you think about where we are today. I mean, this weather has changed so much. It just drove people out of business. So, interesting. All right.
Very happy for the North Country.
Great for the North Country this year. They've had a really good year. Okay, Sean, we appreciate the time. Sean Coletta, Town of Whitestown Supervisor. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right, thanks.
All right, Sean.
So there you go with the latest on that. And it is true. Would you agree that the longer you hold out, the chances are, and God forbid this program goes away and you're left to try to just sell the house.
Yeah.
Who wants to? I mean, there's really not a lot of people that want to buy into something where they know they're just going to continuously get hit.
Yeah, and some of the areas in Whitesboro are very, very bad.
Yeah. All right, a quick break. Some more comments in here. Comments are feisty this morning.
Are they?
I do like that.
Catch up.
Well, I think it's probably because of Trump last night. He was feisty. It just gives you that oomph to be able to say, I'm going to say what I really think. Or, distort it a little bit just to really have some fun. I will get to it coming up at WIBX.
Easy Cater is the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. With easy online ordering, search filters for budget, dietary needs, and more. Save your favorite restaurants and favorite orders for easy reordering. Save time with group ordering. You send a link, your team orders what they want. Plus, Easy Cater makes expense reporting a snap with all your receipts in one place. Easy Cater. More than just a way to order catering for work, it's your business tool for food. Order now at easycater.com.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time, 7:28. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now we have cloudy skies, but warmer temperatures to start the day, 40 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a pedestrian was killed after being struck by a vehicle. The Sheriff's Office says 61-year-old Timothy Sullivan died after being hit in the town of Verona around 7 p.m. Monday. The vehicle involved in the crash did not stay at the scene. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Sheriff's Criminal Investigation Unit. A man from Syracuse who was previously pardoned for his involvement on January 6th is pleading guilty to another charge. Matthew Green was a member of the Proud Boys when he breached the Capitol building in 2021. He was charged with felony conspiracy but pardoned by President Trump. Now Green is pleading guilty to criminal possession of a weapon after guns and ammunition were found in his home on January 6th. He will not serve any jail time, instead being sentenced to 1 year of conditional discharge. A woman is facing charges in connection to a deadly crash in Onondaga County. The crash happened back in November, claiming the life of passenger Riley Besner. 21-year-old Caitlin Kudla faces a slew of charges, including aggravated vehicular homicide, vehicular manslaughter, and operating a motor vehicle with a BAC of 0.08% or higher. Kudla has posted bail since being arrested. And coyotes tend to avoid the wealthy neighborhoods of Los Angeles. That is according to a new study from UC Berkeley. Researchers found that coyotes are more likely to be hazed, hurt, or captured in affluent neighborhoods. Coyotes have noticed this and adapted to it over time, meaning they generally stick around in lower income areas. The study also found that higher population density, lower income neighborhoods give coyotes more opportunities to eat. For example, there is more exposed trash left out behind businesses. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time 7:30. Here's your forecast from the Weather Channel.
Flood watches for some as the rain comes in and showers around. Maybe some rain as we get into the afternoon and steadier, heavier rainfall. Cause some localized flooding, especially where there's more snowpack. 50 degrees today. More rain tonight, tapering off to showers later, 40. Quite breezy tomorrow with a chance of rain showers on over to snow showers later with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick from the Weather Channel. WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, it's 40 degrees under cloudy skies. It's 7:30.
All right, quick break. We're going to talk to Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio on last night and the address to Congress, to the nation, the reaction that everybody has had, and the behavior of all. That was quite interesting. We'll talk to Ryan coming up in a second. And then we'll do Habaika's Free Money Question of the Day. Sheriff Majel coming up as well on WIBX.
At Kubota, we want to help you deliver a job done right. That's why we want you to know that new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. We have the reliable, durable, and versatile lineup to help you do it. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com. We're the
and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
EasyCater is the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. With easy online ordering, search filters for budget, dietary needs, and more. Save your favorite restaurants and favorite orders for easy reordering. Save time with group ordering. You send a link, your team orders what they want. Plus, EasyCater makes expense reporting a snap with all your receipts in one place. EasyCater, more than just a way to order catering for work, it's your business tool for food. Order now at easycater.com.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tires all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tires all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit bmecompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
So last night's address to the joint session of Congress, there are people complaining today about Fox News Channel and CNN because they were talking during the whole thing, and they ended up missing stuff.
During the announcements, the Sergeant at Arms.
And they missed stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Whereas NBC and CBS just put it up. I thought that was really interesting, too, is they put it up, and that was it. It was...
They let the mics roll.
They let everything roll like you were sitting there in the room. Here's a quick piece of audio.
Ready for the Sergeant at Arms, William McFarland, to announce the president.
They have the tiniest majority in the House, and his approval rating will be the North Star of the midterm.
President of the United States.
They both missed it. I mean, that's a big moment. Luckily, they were there to see Al Green get kicked out, though. Here is Ryan Schmelz.
We ought to stay together unless we're disruptive.
This is Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Personal opinion, I think Brett's soothing voice is allowed to be heard up until he decides he no longer can hear it. So, whatever.
Yes, it is what it is, and at least Brett Baer is a newsman. I like to say that. He's not a talking head, he's a newsman, and I appreciate that. All right. My take is that you care, or anybody even cares at all. I hate it all. I yearn for the day when we go back to just decorum. And, I mean, Trump was scolding, the Republicans were laughing, and the Democrats were just immature and offensive. I thought the whole thing was horrible. But if you're on one of those sides, you were either really happy or really mad last night.
It was a spectacle, Yeah. I think what kind of sums it up was, I've been telling everybody before, and I think I told you guys this, that there was a tense feeling in the building before the spat at the White House on Friday.
Yeah.
But after that happened, I think there was just a sense of terror about what could actually happen inside that room. Yeah. And almost immediately things were off the rails because you had a Republican member of Congress. Well, no, even before that, when President Trump was walking in, you had a Republican member of Congress take the sign out of the hands of a Democrat member and throw it in the air.
Oh, God, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Wow.
And you could see it on the feed when President Trump is walking in. It's pretty wild.
Wow.
And, you just knew right off the bat that this was going to get ugly, and it did almost immediately.
In watching this, it is surreal because I don't know how we ever, when I talk about going back to the days when, things were, we'd complain because they were sitting and not clapping.
Yeah, right.
The other side. But Ryan, I don't know how we ever get back. We're so divided. I'm not sure how we ever get back to those days.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to rule out hope. I think Alyssa Slotkin tried to put that thought in people's heads with her, her State of the Union response speech, where she said that Ronald Reagan would be rolling around in his grave over some of the actions that President Trump has taken on a foreign policy scale. So yeah, I think that she was trying to put that thought in people's heads of there is a normal out there.
Yeah.
It's just not with this guy, and she did. You just
that was a Democratic response. Yeah.
Yes, this is a Democrat response. Sorry,
which came at about 4:30 a.m. By the way, by the time the thing.
But just like with how she took a very calm, measured approach, didn't try anything too over the top, just kind of read her lines and got off the stage. And I think that Democrats, from what I'm hearing, like that. They just went with a simple approach, and it's probably good to go with that approach anyway, because those who have tried to do something creative with that response in the past have usually not benefited from it.
Some say the Democrats didn't know whether to stand up and applaud or not during some of those moments, like with a veteran or something, because Nancy Pelosi couldn't get up. So they didn't know what to do. They're like, what do we do? We're waiting for Nancy to move.
She didn't know where she was, and then she put a mask on at one point.
I know. Ryan, ultimately, for you in this business, and I know we're at your out time, this is unbelievable. I mean, when you first went to school to do this, when you're graduating and whatever it is that you did, who would have ever expected the world where you have so many angles that you can take and so many stories you can jump on? It's hard to pick one.
Yeah, no, I mean, and we're in that situation once again today, because it was an interesting night. We've got a member of Congress who might get censured now for his behavior at the thing, and now he's going to be crafting articles of impeachment against President Trump. So we're kind of all over the place at this point.
Yeah. All right, as always, we appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio. And, the impeachment thing, enough of it. Enough. It's going, number one, it's going nowhere. I would rather have seen him hit somebody over the head with that cane he was carrying than go down the impeachment road all over again. Whack him in the head. Now that would be good TV.
Oh my God.
It would have turned into a melee.
You're encouraging violence.
But how about I did not even know that one of the Republican members ripped the sign out of the. I mean, man, we are divided. Holy moly. Mm-hmm. All right. I forgot. We have Hobica's free money question of the day. Rob Mashel, the sheriff, standing by. Davey, how much money are we looking at here today on this Wednesday? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
$200.
$200. $200 on the line. Well, let me tell you, we've been flowing with the dough. Caller number 2 right now for $200. Caller 2 right now. We're going to take it right away at 315-736-0186. Caller 2 right now. All right, Andrew, just get quickly your take on you watched the whole thing last night.
I did.
Your take on and you're leaving in 2 days. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're a Trump supporter, and were you like, God, I wish you'd step back a little bit, or putting it in their face, you loved it?
No, I liked a lot of the speech. There were some things that even as somebody who voted for the guy, is like, okay, a little too much. Like, the fist bumps, stuff like that, the points.
Megan, you are in no position to tell us what you really feel, but your assessment as a news person on last night.
We were discussing off air that the beginning of this happened with Joe Wilson in 2008 when he famously told Obama, "You lie," and that kind of normalized the behavior that we're seeing from both sides of the aisle during these presidential speeches.
And I disagree with that, and I will only say I kind of agree with you. I do think that kind of changed the world a little bit, but everything has changed so much. That, I mean, you add Marjorie Taylor Greene in there, and she's willing to hoop it up from the back, from the cheap seats. But then you add Trump into the mix, and what I find interesting is the extremes that we're dealing with right now compared to 2016, the first term, and where we are now. It is a whole different world.
Yeah, the envelope has been pushed, and he said it best when he and J.D. Vance were talking with Zelensky. This will make for good television. And I believe his speech made for great television.
I guess it did. All right, we are doing, it's Charlie in Kirkville, Davey, is our contestant. Hello, Charlie. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, good. I live in Kirkland.
Oh, in Kirkland. What did I say?
Yes, sir.
Kirkville.
Scott in Kirkville is in Syracuse area, Nida Lake. Sorry about that. Kirkland, which, by the way, Charlie, is far more superior than Kirkville.
Shots fired.
Just letting you know. All right, are you ready for your question?
I am ready.
This is worth $200, and we're in a world of money flowing here. So the 3 out of the last 4 people who have played this contest have won at least $200 or more.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so here we go. Here's your question.
Right.
Who's your daddy? I'm just kidding.
I'm not starting the clock for that.
All right, here's your question. What is the name of the ball in your Guinness can? Ready, go.
Jeez. I have no idea.
That is a tough one.
It is. Everybody who drinks the can knows that it's in there, but what it's actually
the only
called,
thing I would tell you is that I don't know about anybody else, but I drink the can, pour it all the way in. You're supposed to turn it directly upside down.
Okay, yeah, there's a formula.
St. Patrick's is coming up. Turn it directly upside down, and it is meant to make it feel like you're drinking a draft beer, taste like you're drinking a draft beer. But am I the only one that immediately went to my phone and like, what is this thing in the Guinness can? And they come back to say it is a widget.
A widget.
It is. And it has been, and you know who invented it? Guinness. And they invented it and named it the widget. Now, other of those really dark beers
are kind of going with the same.
They go with the same type of thing.
Porters and stouts.
All right. Well, listen, I'm sorry. Sorry, Charlie, on that.
Sorry, Charlie.
Remember those commercials. All right.
The consolation prize is you live in Kirkland.
That is right.
There you go.
We're going to give you the all-in-one food.
Almost.
The food and fun card is $25 gift card. Davey's going to hook you up, and it's good at the Comets games, Adirondack Bank Center. Aquavino, Babes, Taylor and the Cook, and the list goes on. So stand by. Davey's going to hook you up. Thank you, Charlie.
All right. Thank you.
In Kirkland. Thank you so much. Davey, he's yours. On the line right now is Sheriff Rob Mashel. Good morning, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. You have been, your office and you and others in law enforcement have been really busy in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been a very challenging time. It seems like I've been saying that, we talked for the past 4 years, I think, since COVID came. But, obviously just a lot of tragedy, dealing with all the other issues and weather-related issues, and it's just and some significant high-profile arrests, and just a lot going on. But that is what it is. That's part of the job, and that's what we're here to do.
Let's start with the hit and run out by in Verona, out by Nicky Doodles. It looked like What time of day did this occur, by the way?
Well, from what our investigators out in the field have found, we believe the accident happened Monday night, shortly after 7 p.m., probably 7:15 p.m.
Okay, all right.
And certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Mr. Sullivan. But he was walking towards the city of Oneida on Route 365 with traffic just east of Nicky Doodles. And he was struck by a vehicle, and the vehicle sadly and unfortunately left the scene. It never stopped. And again, sadly, we believe this was about 7:15 at night, and it was not discovered until the next morning. And just unfortunate. It's probably 12. Probably 12 hours. About 12 hours later, when the first call came in regarding someone seeing the individual on the side of the road. And like I said, it's just unfortunate that the person who struck him, didn't stop. And we are looking for the public's assistance to help us locate the person responsible for striking Mr. Sullivan. And certainly, we ask that if anyone saw anything, please reach out to us. All information will be kept confidential. Call our criminal investigation division directly. The number, we have it on all our press releases, but the number is 315-765-2767.
Yeah. In our story, I added Crime Stoppers, and it's a way, too, if you don't want to have your name out there, but you have information, don't hold it back. You can use Crime Stoppers, and nobody will know who you are.
Exactly.
Based on your experience, because I try to think about these things and give people the ultimate benefit of the doubt, do you find when someone is finally, whether they turn themselves in or they're caught, that their answer is, I had no idea I hit a human. I thought it was like a deer or an animal?
That has happened.
Is that the excuse? Yeah,
that excuse has been used. But, from the investigation, obviously, we strongly believe that whoever struck him knew that they struck someone. It's unfortunate, but and again, we need to find out who's responsible, because maybe we're missing something here. And certainly, like I said, we're asking for the public. It's a busy road. There's a significant amount of traffic on 365, especially at that night. And in that location, there's obviously some places that draw a lot of vehicular traffic. So I'm pretty confident that someone may have saw something, and we're just pleading for the public's help so we can put closure to this, not only for our investigation, but most importantly for the family of the individual that passed away.
Is there an area nearby there along the road where a car would have to pass through and it would pass through a camera?
There are obviously I think I heard you guys talk about it this morning too, but there's cameras everywhere. So that's somewhat, how we were able to determine the approximate time of the collision. There's some information that we have, but again, we still need to fill in some missing pieces here.
Okay. And then I believe there was another hit and run, not to be confused with this one, that did not include a fatality. And I believe state police handled this one. I don't know if you have any knowledge of it, but it is a white Toyota truck that smashed into a vehicle, pulled in to check for damage, and then took off with a giant red MAGA tailgate. I can't imagine somebody doesn't look at that and say, that's Bob down the road or something.
Yeah, I'm sure, again, that anonymous information will come in on that one. That's going to be relative. I would assume that's going to be relatively easy for them to complete, their investigation, because of those distinct, obviously, I'm sure someone's taken that tailgate off by now, but I'm sure prior to the accident, there are people out in the community who know who that individual is. That's why it's critical for people. We have people have an obligation to assist in a time of need. And again, I'm not talking about physically to get involved, but when you have information on stuff like this, it's critical. I mean, it's just, it's critical to, like I said, in our case, to provide closure to a family.
Well,
if anyone,
you would think it's a given, right?
Sure.
Right. I mean, it's what we do as humans. But I do also wonder, does the law help you? And I'm not sure if you can, does the law, so for instance, if you were to, because oftentimes I think what ends up happening is you get somebody who's been drinking and they're under the influence, they'd get hit with DWI and vehicular manslaughter, and they'd be facing prison time. to leave the scene and then later come back.
Yeah, once they've
I almost
sobered
feel
up,
like
maybe.
the way the law works is it puts you in a position where you face a far less
penalty.
If that makes any sense.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And again, depending on the circumstances in these cases, and I'll speak in general terms, you may have a vehicular manslaughter, you may have leaving the scene of a personal injury or fatal motor vehicle accident. There's a lot of different factors here. That's why it's critical. But I think the other thing that you have that I'm hopeful for, and I know I'm very optimistic all the time, no matter what we're talking about, and I try to think positively. But someone knows they hit something. Okay, if they don't know they hit a person, but now they see in the media that in that same area where they know they hit something, it's reported that a person has lost their life there as a result of that. If someone is lying there in bed at night, knowing that they hit something, now they know there's a fatal accident. Your conscience has to play an incredible role.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so I'm confident that maybe the person, will come forward based on their own. Media reports, because it's not like you have to pick the paper up anymore. Between the paper, the television, the internet, every social media platform that's out there, press releases are pushed out, like you said, instantaneously in this electronic world we're in right now.
And I hate to say, but you're going to, somebody is going to most likely walk into their garage or whatever and say, Bob was driving last night, got home late, and the front of his vehicle is smashed. What happened?
Exactly. And we've solved cases like that before. Same thing. Yeah. Where the body shop, just like when someone walks into a hospital with a specific type of wound, they're going to call law enforcement. So whatever the case may be, I'm confident that hopefully we get closure here quickly on this case.
And I'll let you go, but it is one of you have to consider the fact that the person could have been saved as opposed to lying there on the side of the road for who knows how long.
Yeah, we believe he was there for 12 hours, and you are correct. Wow. If even as traumatic as the accident was, again with the trained EMS personnel we have, now, and the medical equipment that we're able to respond with now, that could very well have been a situation where the person, was injured severely, but they are able to be saved, and unfortunately that did not happen because. Yeah.
Wow,
he was there for 12 hours.
That's an element of the story I was not aware of. That is just awful. So.
All right, Sheriff, as always, we appreciate it, and maybe things will slow down just a little bit.
Hopefully, but every time I say that, it usually gets worse, so I'm not going to say that.
Let's not jinx it. All right, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Very good. Have a good day, guys.
You do the same.
All right, you too, Sheriff.
Sheriff Rob Machel with the United County Sheriff's Department, and a quick break, and we'll come right back.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
So we're hearing that the person with the white Toyota, and Davey, you have the story on this.
We'll now go to Davey in the booth.
The reporter Davey, who's live on the scene. What do we know on the person that had the white pickup truck with the red MAGA tailgate?
It was a 52-year-old male from Rome. That's all his name is Sebastian D'Amico Jr., 62, of Rome. Turned himself in and was released for the following: operation of motor vehicle without inspection sticker, leaving the scene of a property damage accident, moved from lane unsafely, driving on the shoulder control access road.
All right, so it was a pulling around the right side of the vehicle.
Yeah, because it happened in front of the Westmoreland post office.
Right, yeah. And then it drove in to the Westmo car wash, checked, and then just took off, allegedly.
There was a time, an instance, this was years ago, when I was leaving a Comets game, and I bumped into somebody. I backed into somebody, and I left a note. And I got a call from the person because I left the game early, so wait around. I could have waited till the end of the game, but I decided left a really nice note with my number. That person appreciated it, called me and said, "Yeah, we'll work it out." I got the insurance information and got it taken care of.
All right. It is at the very least the right thing to do, right? Probably, I think. Did you see the story out of Florida where they're building a road using radioactive waste?
Oh, nice.
This is fun. The project has kicked off legal battles to stop it from happening. Abby Taima is the executive director of the Suncoast Waterkeeper, talking about some of the problems something like this could actually cause.
We don't want to put workers in harm's way as they construct these roads. I mean, that is primary concern. But secondary is that we don't want this sort of water running off into our creeks and into our bays.
It does seem like a stupid idea, doesn't it?
Yeah, I am almost.
I don't know anything about radioactive waste, to be honest. I really don't know. But it does not seem like it is the way to go, but I could be wrong. Scientists are looking to bring back the woolly mammoth. Why? This thing's larger than an elephant.
It's just people to look at. And
the woolly mammoth in the next few years have actually. This is like
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park all over again.
You better watch out.
Next few years, they've actually created woolly mice. They say it's long hair and extra fat for cold weather. Beth Shapiro is the chief scientist at Colossal Biosciences, talking about the woolly mammoth mice that have been created.
We're trying to develop this complex trait of being able to survive in cold climates. So we focus mostly on woolly hair and also a gene that's associated with fat metabolism. So there's a lot of information out there about mice. So we could look at the genes that look like they have an important change in mammoths and see if the mouse version of those genes has ever been associated with a mouse that has the phenotype that we're interested in.
All right. Last night's speech I did enjoy. I mean, no one can redirect people better than I think than Donald Trump. Somehow last night, we in the midst of grocery prices that are going up, inflation that is rising right now, egg prices that have gone sky high since President Trump took office, he blamed it all of it on Biden. And everybody just walked away like, yeah, it is completely ignoring the fact that he had said, on day one, the egg prices are coming down. On day one, the groceries are coming down. Day one, your gas prices are coming down. And I get it. When he said that, you had to look at it and say, that's not going to happen on day one.
Yeah.
And here we are. But last night, I thought it was amazing how he completely blamed it. None of his had no responsibility. Tariffs play no role, nothing. Or the threat of tariffs, which, by the way, I think there's going to be a deal today with, I think we're going to hear a deal with Canada and Mexico. So maybe those threats actually turn out to have strategically worked. We'll find out later on today. Next hour, Ryan Nobles, who was there last night from NBC. We'll speak with him. And the Rosenthal Report coming up.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It was the longest presidential address before Congress on record. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, an hour and 40 minutes.
To my fellow citizens, America is back.
And President Trump touted what he's done so far in his return.
It has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era.
Citing his work to slash the size and cost of government and saying we're no longer woke.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies.
The president also said his new tariffs will stop the U.S. from being ripped off.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
Though he did ask farmers to bear with him that there will be an adjustment period as Trump critics warn of more inflation and economic trouble. Democrats booed the president at times. Some held up signs like false and this is not normal. Congressman Al Green shouted at the president, waving his cane, and then House Speaker Mike Johnson intervened.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions.
And Green was escorted out, saying after,
I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it.
In the official Democratic response after the speech, Senator Alyssa Slotkin said,
America wants change, but there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way.
Warning.
If he's not careful, he could walk us right into a recession.
During the speech, President Trump also read a letter from Ukraine's leader who wrote he's ready to work out a lasting peace deal to end the war with Russia days after the contentious confrontation at the White House. President Trump also announced last night an ISIS terrorist has been captured, believed responsible for the 2021 attack during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan that killed 13 American troops. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz just told Fox.
The president said even to these families at Arlington, we're going to get this guy. We shared the intelligence with Pakistan, and he's rolled up, and he will be tried in a U.S. court.
And due to make an appearance today in Virginia. America's listening to Fox News.
It's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard with a qualifying plan. You can choose an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for $0. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks, just honest-to-goodness wireless price right. Dial pound 250, you say the keywords Pure Talk, claim your new iPhone or Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk, which is America's wireless company. Visit puretalk.com for details.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry! Terry! Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Now, in last night's speech, President Trump touted his declaration of a national emergency at the southern border as successful with a big drop in illegal crossings. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tells Fox.
President Trump gave us a charge. 100% operational control of the southern border. Border security is national security.
Now, today, Secretary Hegseth and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard will join Vice President Vance on a trip to the border.
The White House says Vice President Vance will travel to Eagle Pass, Texas today, where he'll tour an immigration processing facility, making him the highest-ranking member of the Trump administration to visit the border town. And to highlight that after President Trump's first full month in office, illegal immigration at the southern border has plummeted to the lowest level in decades, with just over 8,000 apprehensions in February, according to Customs and Border Patrol, a 96% drop from December of 2023, when CBP reported over 300,000 illegal encounters at the southern border under the Biden administration. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
After President Trump's address last night, the Chinese embassy posted this on X. If the war is what the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type, we're ready to fight till the end. This after the President Trump doubled tariffs on Chinese imports, blaming China for the flow of the deadly drug fentanyl into the U.S., the same reason he put tariffs on goods coming here from Mexico and Canada. And speaking of fentanyl, a little boy has died in New York City.
Police say the boy's parents were taken in for questioning after the 4-year-old child was unresponsive and in the middle of an apparent overdose when cops arrived at the Women in Need shelter in Flatbush, Brooklyn. EMS administered Narcan on the scene and rushed the boy to the hospital. The boy's parents were both taken into custody for questioning after investigators recovered drug paraphernalia inside the shelter, which police say will now be tested. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are up modestly after yet another big sell-off and plunge for the Dow. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, 41 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. A pedestrian is dead after being struck by a vehicle in Oneida County. The sheriff's office says 61-year-old Timothy Sullivan died after being hit in the town of Verona around 7 p.m. Monday. The vehicle involved in the crash did not stay at the scene. Anyone with information is asked to contact the sheriff's criminal investigation unit. Last year, developers proposed building a Best Western hotel in the village of New Hartford behind the burned dairy on Campion Road. Those plans have now been scrapped. Instead, developers are recommending building a higher-end hotel on the site. specifically a Cambria hotel. The hotel would be 4 floors still and include a restaurant and health spa, which would be available for guests and the public. At Tuesday's village planning meeting, developers discussed the new plans with the board. Some of the concerns were still the same, but developers say they've come up with a way to block the view of residents at the hotel or people staying at the hotel from the residents surrounding with the Bahama shutter. It's typically used in hurricane situations, but in this situation, it will work out great because the shutter will be at an angle. You'll still be able to look out of the room and see down, but you won't see the neighbors. No vote was taken on the new proposal by the village planning board. Instead, they're passing along the new information to the county before making any decisions. A man from Utica was taken into custody after authorities discovered illicit materials in his possession. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office initiated an investigation following a report from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which indicated that someone had uploaded child exploitation material online. The investigation yielded sufficient evidence and probable cause to obtain a search warrant for a residence in the city of Utica. Officials say on March 3rd, several law enforcement agencies carried out the search warrant at a property on Hope Street, resulting in the arrest of 27-year-old Colin Kelsey. He's facing 1 felony charge of possessing a sexual performance by a child, along with 2 felony counts for promoting a sexual performance by a child. And the number is now 15. That is how many employees of Midstate Correctional Facility have been put on leave as a result of the death of an inmate. We'll have more details on that story as
I want to get into this coming up in a few minutes, because the governor made a few statements that I just don't understand. Do we not know anything? And apparently not. And apparently there is no video, or they're holding back for some reason. But 15 staff members there are now on leave. So,
and unfortunately,
this comes at a bad
time. Very
time.
terrible incident. But the longer that the public doesn't know what happened, the more things start to swirl.
Well, and just statements like what the governor had said, I want to bring it up here. Yesterday, the governor said that it's extreme. There are indications that extremely disturbing conduct led to the Saturday death of the inmate. Well, what does that mean? The other thing it talks about is it doesn't believe the body cameras were on. So I believe we're sitting here with no video, and that is a bit of a no-no. So
I thought that they automatically recorded because that was the situation with Robert Brooks.
What was caught there at Marcy. So I don't know what's going on, but they are not releasing anything as of right now. But this comes at a very bad time. Comes obviously on the heels of the strike and the bad working conditions. So the guards, COs are out there saying we can't continue this type of these conditions. At the same time, you have these stories that are popping up. What in the world? So I don't get it.
What a mess the docs has on their hands.
What a mess. And what a mess they say it's going to be when it comes to some heavy rain today, as a matter of fact.
Flood watches for some as the rain comes in and showers around. Maybe some rain as we get into the afternoon, and steadier, heavier rainfall cause some localized flooding, especially where there's more snowpack. 50 degrees today. More rain tonight, tapering off to showers later, 40. Quite breezy tomorrow with a chance of rain showers on over to snow showers later with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick from the Weather Channel. WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 41 degrees under cloudy skies at 8:10. In sports, NFL free agency is fast approaching. The franchise tag deadline passed on Tuesday without a single new player joining Bengals receiver T. Higgins and Chiefs guard Trey Smith in getting the tag. It's the lowest number of players tagged during an offseason since 1994, 1 year after the rule was implemented. Higgins will make more than $26 million next season, while Smith is set to earn just under $23.5 million. However, both teams can work out long-term contracts to avoid the hefty one-year deals. Meanwhile, Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold is one of the big names who did not get tagged and is now an unrestricted free agent. The negotiation period for free agency begins on Monday. The Jets continue to shake up their roster as the Green and White have released veteran wide receiver Devontae Adams on Tuesday. Also, ESPN is reporting the Jets have given permission to wide receiver Allen Lazard to seek a trade before the start of the league year on March 12th. The Knicks were unable to extend their winning streak to 4 after falling to the Golden State Warriors 114-102 at Madison Square Garden. They're now third in the Eastern Conference at 40-21 and will visit the Los Angeles Lakers tomorrow at Crypto.com Arena. The Nets' losing streak is up to 5 games after falling to the San Antonio Spurs 127-113 at Frostbank Center. The Islanders bounced back from their recent loss after topping the Winnipeg Jets 3-2 at UBS Arena. The Devils were unable to complete the comeback after falling to the Dallas Stars 4-3 at American Airlines Center. The Rangers are looking to stay hot after earning back-to-back shutouts and winning 4 of their last 5. The Blue Shirts are hosting the Washington Capitals tonight at MSG. The Yankees crushed the Philadelphia Phillies after cruising to a 12-3 victory in Clearwater. Will Warren was credited with the win after striking out 4 and allowing just 1 run over 3 innings pitched. Spencer Jones slugged a 3-run shot. Paul Goldschmidt launched a 2-run bomb, and Jason Dominguez went deep with a solo shot. The Bronx Bombers are 6-4 in Grapefruit League play and will continue when they host the Minnesota Twins tomorrow afternoon in Tampa. The Mets came up short after falling to the St. Louis Cardinals 6-1 in Jupiter. They'll play the Astros tomorrow night in Port St. Lucie.
It was nice that game was on ESPN. I could watch a little of it. So.
Yes, of course. And Syracuse now 12-18 as they lost to SMU by a score of 77-75 after having a huge lead at one point, but they are still in the ACC tournament. If you are dealing with the pain, it can take over your life, and some of the things you used to enjoy, you cannot enjoy anymore. That is why you should try to get on the phone and call Dr. Tim Delmedico and see what he can do to help. He and his team have the SoftWave technology in-house, and it can help you with ringing in the ear, too, I think. You can talk to him about it. TMJ, it's caused by
tinnitus.
Whatever else is going on.
I have. There really wasn't a sound. It's just in your head.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
And Revive may be able to help with that as well. Revive SoftWave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. It's been used in Europe for 20 years, this technology. It's a device that uses high-speed sound waves to direct stem cells in your body to the impacted area to promote natural healing. They helped me with my foot and ankle pain around this time last year. After 6 treatments, my pain went from a 7 or an 8 down to a 0. And it may be able to help you as well. ReviveUtica.com is the website, ReviveUtica.com. There you will find testimonial videos, research that went into this technology, a little bit more information on Dr. Tim and his team, and contact information for them as well. You can make an appointment right online, ReviveUtica.com. That's ReviveUtica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive SoftWave Therapy, Genesee Street in Utica, now in Syracuse and Albany.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about this corrections officer situation and the latest at Midstate. We'll get to that. And Ryan Nobles, he is up next on WIBX.
It's time to stop letting road conditions dictate your journey. Nokian Tires all-weather tires are versatile enough for summer heat, spring rain, and winter snow, allowing you to forget the forecast so you can focus on the road ahead, not the road below. Forget the forecast with a year-round tire approved for winter use. Find Nokian Tires all-weather tires at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Learn more at tallmanstire.com.
People with diabetes or prediabetes measure blood sugar to make informed decisions about diet and medications. Continuous glucose monitoring devices, or CGMs, measure blood sugar through a wearable skin sensor that transmits data to an app, insulin pump, or receiver. Continuous monitoring? No finger stick required. Kinney Pharmacies accept most insurance for CGMs, and big news, now Medicare Part B too. If you have a prescription for a CGM, talk to your Kinney pharmacist or visit KinneyDrugs.com.
Easy Cater is the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. With easy online ordering, search filters for budget, dietary needs, and more. Save your favorite restaurants and favorite orders for easy reordering. Save time with group ordering. You send a link, your team orders what they want. Plus, EasyCater makes expense reporting a snap with all your receipts in one place. EasyCater, more than just a way to order catering for work, it's your business tool for food. Order now at easycater.com.
Dear me, I'm you writing from your future. I know that you're hesitant to get care for your heart. But when you visit the St. Joseph's Health Cardiovascular Institute, you'll receive a higher level of care. Their team of highly skilled doctors, nurses, and specialists provides comprehensive heart care and quicker recovery times, giving you the best possible outcomes. Go to sjhsyr.org/CVI to get started. Don't wait. Get back to the life you love.
Registration for America's Greatest Heart Run and Walk is now open, and they're looking to break fundraising and race records. The event returns to Utica University on March 8th, so sign up now for the 18-mile, 10-mile, or 3-mile race at uticaheartrunwalk.org. Join the American Heart Association's mission in raising money to improve and promote heart health in the Mohawk Valley. This year's goal is to raise $1 million. Sign up to race or donate now at uticaheartrunwalk.org.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Portions of the program brought to you by Daylight Donuts in New Hartford.
Daylight Donuts,
Daylight Donuts. The coffee is so good.
It's good.
It's Seattle's
It's good.
best coffee. And you can grab it in the drive-thru or go on
Lightning
in.
fast.
Donuts are made there fresh every single day. There's sandwiches and, of course, the lattes. It's going to be in the 40s today. You could get an iced coffee even today, or espresso, whatever you want. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. On the line right now is Ryan Nobles. Ryan, good morning.
You know, you live in upstate New York in March when you think that 40-degree weather is worthy of iced coffee.
That is very true. You're right. Now, what'll be interesting is if this is in September and it's 40, we're all acting like, oh, my God, it's freezing out. Can you believe it?
Get the warm coffee immediately.
That's
Yes,
right.
exactly.
Yes. It's
Yes.
all, put it all in perspective. All right. It just seems like such a boring time with nothing to talk about, doesn't it?
I think there's more than a few things to talk about.
Yeah,
I don't know where you want to start. I was in the chamber last night for the speech. So
I
if you
saw
want to
that.
Start there.
Yeah,
We can
well,
start there.
let's start with, I didn't realize that the woman, I saw a picture of the congresswoman holding a sign that said, "This is not normal." But what I didn't know is that a member on the other side, a Republican, grabbed it out of her hand and threw it up in the air when the president was coming in.
Yeah, that's Congresswoman Melanie Stansberry, who is a kind of a rising star in the Democratic Party. She has the distinction of being the Democratic ranking member on their Doge caucus. So that's kind of an interesting position to be in, given the way that Doge is kind of running ripshot through the federal government. But I saw that I couldn't see from my vantage point. So inside the chamber, when you're watching on TV, I was to the president's left-hand side, so right on your screen.
Okay.
But I was behind the president. And then kind of right at the turn where the chamber gallery kind of turns to the side. So I had a great vantage point, and I could not see the note that she had held up there, which was strategically placed for when Trump went by her. But I did see the piece of paper fly into the air, and I didn't know exactly what it was, and saw it all play out afterwards. But I have to tell you, being in there, and I don't know how well this transferred to the television audience, but I've never seen a more polarized chamber than what we saw last night.
I agree. That's what I was saying this morning. Now, I don't know how we recover from this. It's that bad.
Even, there was a period of time when George W. Bush was a pretty polarizing president. Half the country was not a fan. He could still find a few lines over the course of a State of the Union that would bring every single member to their feet and clap.
Yeah.
There was not one example of that last night in the chamber. Democrats sat on their hands almost the entire night. There were periodic times where they would have kind of light applause. For instance, when he made note of the gentleman who he announced was getting his West Point scholarship, they clapped for that. They did clap for Laken Riley's family, but they did not stand ever and most of them had very kind of stoic looks on their faces. There were quite a few cheers and yells. Of course, there was the Al Green moment, which I think it probably is going to get an outsized amount of attention because Al Green is not indicative of the Democratic Party writ large. But you're right, Bill. It seemed to me like this was a reflection of the country right now. And it's also a reflection of the power structure in Washington, right?
Yeah.
Like Democrats were very unhappy with that speech. They were very unhappy with a lot of the things that Donald Trump had to say, but there was literally nothing they could do to stop him.
Yeah.
And basically their legislative power is pretty much sitting on their hands, watching this all play out without much that they can do.
Right, they can't do anything. I also felt that Republicans were, Democrats were absolutely disrespectful at times. The booing, I mean, that's just something you never would see. At the same time, so was President Trump disrespectful. I mean, he was totally giving them a tongue lashing and saying some terrible things about the opposition. And then Republicans were just laughing at them. I just felt it was a display where I hated it all. I cannot believe we've gotten to the point where this is how all of us, everybody, display. That's how we behave at a moment like this. It's shocking to me, but maybe it isn't shocking. Maybe it's just this is what we expect now.
Well, it's shocking if you look at it kind of from an isolated perspective, right? Like
through
if you
history.
just looked at that speech on its own and compared it to the past speeches. But if you understand and if you live in the moment that we currently live in, I think it's not only not a shock, it's exactly what you would expect to play out there. And, we've seen these speeches kind of devolve. If you go all the way back to 2009 when Congressman Joe Wilson yelled, "You lie" at President Obama. And that was a massive controversy. And then
think about that. Was huge then. That was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And with each subsequent, and it's also, I should say as a side note, I know Congressman Wilson pretty well. I went to Taiwan with him. He's one of the most gentle, kind of friendly, affable guys you could ever meet. The idea that he was the one that started this all is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
But then, you had, it's a bit ironic because that Republicans are complaining so much of the way Democrats behaved when you saw the way Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert screamed at Joe Biden in all 4 years of his State of the Union speeches. So this is, both sides have contributed to this kind of degradation of what was once a hallowed speech and a hallowed event in Washington that was designed to set the stage for a presidential agenda for the year.
Yeah.
And I do think that, I guarantee that your listeners that are Donald Trump supporters loved every second of that. And I don't think there's any doubt that he was playing to his base last night. But there wasn't really a lot of meat there to talk about what he planned to do and how he planned to accomplish it. It was a lot of the same rhetoric that we heard on the campaign trail. There was a lot of this kind of verbose, "I'm the best at this. This is the best we've ever done. We're gonna be the best we ever were." But there wasn't really a roadmap or a kind of an instruction to his partners in Congress as to how they were going to get to those goals and achieve those goals. So it's just an example of how much the speech has changed.
Boy. And there's a Panama Canal stuff and the Greenland stuff, and all of that is going to be very interesting to see what happens there. But it is interesting to watch Trump make these moves, and Canada, of course, standing up to him, and they're saying we will not back down. But it looks like there's a deal underway, and you have Zelensky now coming back to say, because I feel like the European leaders were saying to him, you got to play up to this guy or we're going nowhere. So Zelensky is kind of conceding a little bit. They do concede ultimately to Trump because it's kind of like arguing with that person that will not stop. He'll go as low as he has to go to win. So if you don't want it to be carnage all over the place, you're going to have to concede.
No, I think that's exactly right, and I think that's how world leaders have learned to kind of handle Donald Trump. But I do think it's important to kind of look beyond the kind of the verbose rhetoric and actually see what he's going to accomplish. So he installed these 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico without kind of a clear understanding of what he was hoping to get in return for them. He's kind of vaguely talked about them reining in the fentanyl crisis, but there's no evidence, particularly in Canada's case, that there's a tremendous amount of fentanyl pouring over the northern border. And so, there were some mixed messages from his cabinet officials yesterday. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, said that they were on the verge of a deal with Canada, but then Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, said that they weren't. But even if they do, and listen, I don't think that Donald Trump's long-term goal is to keep a 25% onerous tariff on one of your top trading partners that is unquestionably going to impact the day-to-day lives of every American in a very significant way. But when he does announce that they've cut a deal, right? When he comes out and says, we figured this out, I think it's going to be really important to see what he actually got out of it. Yesterday and I think this relates to Ukraine as well, because he made this big kind of show in the Oval Office and demanded all these things from Zelensky. At the end of the deal, they were there to sign a mineral deal and sign a security agreement. And they didn't do it on that day, so maybe they're going to do it 3 days later after Trump kind of humiliates Zelensky. What actually got accomplished by all of that? And Trump supporters will say that he's standing up for America and that he's not taking any crap from any of these foreign leaders. But I don't know that it's actually equating to tangible results other than a day or 2 or 2 week news cycle where everybody's worried that the sky's falling because of these provocative moves by Trump. And I think that's going to be a really important thing to look for here, especially when they resolve this tariff issue, and if it's resolved in the near future.
And so far, all of the standing up to the world leaders is standing up to people who are our allies. Or Iran, Iran and China, I think he's been very critical of, but certainly, North Korea not, and Putin absolutely not. I don't understand
China,
that.
He's put these tariffs in on China, and I think that if you talk to economists, they'll say that there's some merit to kind of forcing China to the table in a trade negotiation. I hesitate to use the word trade war, but that China maybe has been taking advantage of us economically for a long time. But Americans like paying for and buying cheap Chinese goods, and so that's part of the reason that we've seen this play out. But you're right. The people that Trump is battling with the most right now are the countries and the leaders that have traditionally been America's strongest allies, in Canada and Mexico and Britain and Europe and France. We're talking about France and Ukraine, of course. So what he gets out of this, I think, is the thing we still need to keep a close eye on and go beyond just him saying what Trump is really good at, what he did last night, what he does better than any president probably in American history, is say and tell you that his accomplishments are the greatest thing ever. We had the greatest economy of all time. The country was the most secure that it's ever been. I did all this. I did all that. That doesn't necessarily meet with the reality of the situation. So he may tell you that he struck the greatest deal ever with Ukraine, but we have to really look beyond that to see what he actually got out of it.
All right. What comes in these? Well, I guess you're saying this is what's coming the next couple of days. Next couple of weeks? What's he going to get out of all of this? I did think last night he mentioned the rare mineral situation, and a deal will be cut later in the week. Almost tipping his hat to maybe a deal is coming later this week with Zelensky.
I mean, it does seem like it's trending in that direction. He read that letter for the first time last night from Zelensky, which was Zelensky basically saying that he was ready to sign the rare minerals deal. That looks to be something that, both parties in the United States agree to. If Ukraine seems on board with it, Europe seems on board with it. The other thing, if you are looking for ways that Trump has made progress in these negotiations, he has gotten these European leaders to pony up more funding to back Ukraine in their war, which was a huge complaint of his prior to taking office. And the negotiations are in earnest around this minerals deal. the open question, Bill, that still remains in this conversation about trying to find a peace deal with Russia is what is Russia conceding? We've talked a lot about what Ukraine is going to concede.
Yeah.
In a war that they did not start and they are the victims in. We've spent a lot of time talking about what Ukraine needs to do. What is Russia going to do? That still remains an open question, other than stop bombing Ukraine, which they haven't even promised to do. What is Russia going to do? And I think that's going to be the most important part of whatever comes out of these negotiations after you get to the stage where Ukraine has said, we're willing to give up X, Y, and Z. What is Putin willing to give up?
I wanted to know if you got any intel on the Ukrainian ambassador. That was a really interesting shot of her in the Oval Office last Friday with her head in her hands. And, depending on which side you talk to, she was feeling one side or the other. In reality, I kind of felt like she's probably feeling a lot of all of it. She probably told Zelensky, listen, just keep your cool. We're going to be okay to get through this. And, any thoughts on what was going through her head?
I think you encapsulated her feelings there probably perfectly. Diplomats by design have to kind of understand both sides of a negotiating table. And I'm sure that she was preparing Zelensky to be dressed down a little bit in that meeting, and she probably pleaded with him not to take the bait. But she also was probably hopeful, given how much work that the Ukrainian diplomatic corps had done to try and win over the new Trump administration, and was completely aware of the potential pitfalls there. She was probably desperately hoping that Trump and Vance wouldn't have come in as aggressive as they did. Her head was in her hands because everything that she had planned going into that meeting went off the rails pretty quickly. And I think she saw in that moment probably the end of her country, right? I mean, that was probably why she was so upset about what she saw playing out there, because it looked in that moment that there was no way for Ukraine to recover from that. And I think it was very indicative of the moment, her reaction.
Listen, I realize this is a horrible comparison, but in 1992, I was walking down the hallway of a radio station with my boss, who said, all right, we're going in to speak with the general manager, and just please keep your cool. I'll get you through this. We're going to be okay. Just don't let him set you off, right? So there we are in the meeting, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 and it is turned into a screaming match. And I look over, and there's my good friend and boss at the time, JR, with his head in his hands. I realized
he hadn't said anything.
I think I was Zelensky in this story.
If he hadn't said that to you, he may, because I think in some cases it's like, don't warn me.
In that time, I was being told you can't say condom on the radio, you can't say hell, you can't say oh my God. I'm like, we're going nowhere here. And I knew the Bill
Keeler of that era. And I don't think there was anything anybody could have done. To stop you from telling your general manager how you felt.
Yeah, I think you're probably correct. All right, Ryan, great stuff, great perspective. We appreciate it. Boy, these are amazing times. So thank you so much.
All right, Bill, take it easy, guys. Have a great week.
You do the same. Ryan Nobles from NBC. Stand by. We'll come back. Andrew has news coming up. We'll talk more about this. I also want to get in, before we get out of here, some of the stuff that's coming out on that we're learning now. A lot of it's anecdotal. We're hearing it through certain channels of, somebody heard something, but I just think the statement that I'm talking about the prison guards.
Yes.
I just think the statement that the governor made is very irresponsible, only in that it just leaves us all. It leads you to believe something really nefarious was done. And it seems like they have no evidence, so how do you know? And let's not forget the fact that I'm told there were National Guard members who were there when that happened. So if that's true, and you don't really know that somebody did something really bad, that is a pretty bad statement, I feel, to make as governor. Now, maybe we'll find out afterwards. There will be charges, but I don't know. There's way too much that we don't know right now.
A lot of unknowns.
We'll talk about that coming up. And then we love 3 legal stories with Fox News Radio's Jeremy Rosenthal. We'll get to the Rosenthal Report coming right up at WIBX.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Mattress Express's closeout sale on brand new leftover inventory and floor models. Right now, buy a king or queen and get a free adjustable base. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans available as well.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:38. I'm Andrew Domenio. A pedestrian is dead after being struck by a vehicle in Oneida County. The sheriff's office says 61-year-old Timothy Sullivan died after being hit in the town of Verona around 7 p.m. Monday. The vehicle involved in the crash did not stay at the scene. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Sheriff's Criminal Investigation Unit. The number is now 15, up from 11 yesterday. That's the number of staff members at Mid-State Correctional Facility who have been placed on administrative leave following an incident that took the life of a 22-year-old inmate. We will give you more details on this story as they progress. Right now, very little known. All we do know is 15 people are on leave. A man from Syracuse who was previously pardoned for his involvement on January 6th is pleading guilty to another charge. Matthew Green was a member of the Proud Boys when he breached the Capitol building in 2021. He was charged with felony conspiracy but pardoned by President Trump. Now Green is pleading guilty to criminal possession of a weapon after guns and ammunition were found in his home on January 6th. He will not serve any jail time, instead being sentenced to 1 year of conditional discharge. The Mohawk Valley Water Authority announced that due to a water main break at the intersection of Woodlawn Place and Kenwood Road, Mohawk Valley Water Authority customers in parts of Woodlawn Place are under a boil water advisory. Woodlawn Place from 5444 to 5478 are impacted, and the boil water advisory will be in effect for approximately 48 hours until lab testing confirms the advisory can be lifted. And Nevada is being ranked the most sinful state in the country. That's according to finance website Wallet Hub, which ranked all 50 states based on dozens of indicators relating to behavior. That includes violent crime per capita, excessive drinking, and gambling addictions. California and Florida rounded out the top 3, while Idaho ranked last on the list. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time, 8:40. Here's your forecast.
Flood watches for some as the rain comes in and showers around. Maybe some rain as we get into the afternoon and steadier, heavier rainfall. Cause some localized flooding, especially where there's more snowpack. 50 degrees today. More rain tonight, tapering off to showers later, 40. Quite breezy tomorrow with a chance of rain showers on over to snow showers later with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik from the Weather Channel. WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now we're at 42 degrees under cloudy skies at 8:41.
All right, I want to read a couple of quick comments and we'll talk about, actually we'll be doing we're going to do the Rosenthal report first. I'll get to, let's see, I got a couple from Lance and Lee. Oh, Lance and Lee, I'm just going to lambaste you. I hope you're waiting for it. It's coming because you're stuck in your own, what's the backside of a boat? Your head is stuck in your own aft. Yeah. That's what I was looking for. By the way, today is Ash Wednesday. Think of the contest we did when I was on Rock. It was a very special day. Ash Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was great.
I'm just saying they were sending pictures in.
Yes.
It was the old days, and you can't do that stuff anymore.
No, you cannot.
Can I do this right now without breaking?
Sure.
Because Jeremy's on the line. No one makes Jeremy wait.
Nobody makes him wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time now for the Rosenthal Report.
The Rosenthal Report!
Oh, the Angels.
Angels. Well, we're trying to get some peace with the bombs being thrown from last night during the speech and, just trying to find some zen this morning, I think maybe.
Well, I am thrilled to know that nobody makes me wait.
That's right, nobody.
I just need to let the folks around here know that. That'd be great.
You let them know. In New York, nobody makes Jeremy wait. All right, we're gonna throw. We'll throw 3 topics at you, and as we always do. And there's just so much going on. Topic 1. A guy in India sued and won because there were too many ads and previews before the movie. I mean, apparently life is calm in India.
Yes. Well, look, I didn't know that Pauly Shore was still making movies, and I didn't know that they were making you watch the previews in India. Because this guy claimed mental anguish, and the courts probably had to sit and watch the same previews, and they were like, yeah, we get you, buddy. I mean, he didn't win a lot of money, but yeah, so what happens is in New York, in India, I guess apparently you can make these kinds of lawsuits, and apparently they stick. What's going on is that and there's somebody in a legislator in Connecticut has filed a bill that says that you have to have truth in advertising on your on the ticket. Like, if the movie says it's going to start at 7:15, it's got to start at 7:15 or 7:20. And I mean, who hasn't sat and watched 300 previews? I mean, it can be kind of maddening. I don't know that it's right your congressman bad, but it can be bad.
I find now that you can reserve your seat, you just know to go in about 10, 15 minutes later, and you get a few previews, and boom, that's the end of it.
See, but that assumes that you're good at time management.
That is true. That is true.
But what if you're like me, and it's like, I'll get there in 4 minutes, and no, I won't have to. The popcorn line won't be long, and then you get there late, and then you miss.
That's a good point.
Or you get there an hour early. You ever done that?
I've never done that before, actually.
Had to do that for Wicked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
write your congressman.
Write your congressman and make sure your wife has a bottle of vodka in her purse and it's snug it in. You'll be just fine. Topic number 2, Mexico taking, this is interesting, Mexico taking legal action.
This one is pretty complicated. Okay, there is exactly one store in Mexico that is authorized to sell firearms by the Mexican government. And the Mexican government has it in their head that the cartels got their weapons somewhere else. And they think that it's, I don't know, America, maybe some of our gun manufacturers. They claim it's 70%. I don't know how they base that, but we know obviously the number is more than 0. So what they're doing is they're suing the gun manufacturers, saying, look, there are some bad gun dealers on the border, in Arizona, in Texas, in border states. They're sending in straw men. They're sending in people with phony baloney, whatever, and these places are getting sold weapons. And there's an act of Congress from 2005 in the Bush administration, which essentially said, look, it's just unless a weapon malfunctions, or unless there's just ridiculously false advertising, or unless you are actually partaking in a crime, you can't sue a weapons manufacturer. This is an extremely muddy topic, and that's just the tip that I just threw at you there. So yeah.
It seems kind of odd that the U.S. Supreme Court would be the one to handle the ruling on that when it could adversely affect American companies. I don't know where they're kind of going with that, or what the outcome is they expect.
Okay, they sued in American courts, right? Now, part of this is almost certainly optics, right? A part of this is almost certainly, again, I'm not a geopolitical,
right?
Type,
yes.
But,
right.
I'm more of a get angry at watching Pauly Shore.
Right. There are politics in this.
There are
no doubt.
Politics, yeah. So Mexico is trying to say, look, you guys blame us in America. You blame us for everything. You blame us for immigration, crime, all that stuff. But on the flip side, we have all these weapons here, and there's a lot of finger pointing here. The Mexican government is pointing at America, at the ATF, saying you guys aren't policing this, and on the flip side, the gun manufacturers are saying, okay, how are we any different than Michelob Ultra, right? Can you sue Anheuser-Busch because of a DWI car accident? At what point are you on the hook for that? And it's an American statute that they're interpreting, and they sued in American courts. So that's why the U.S. Supreme Court's got this thing.
Topic 3, arbitration and allegations, the Knicks-Raptors legal dispute unfolding. This is an interesting one as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Knicks can't even win in the courtroom. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, are you guys Knicks? Or are we Knicks fans? Yes.
Well, there's some.
By default.
That's okay. Man, yeah, this is like one McDonald's suing another McDonald's, or one Starbucks suing another Starbucks. I had to look back, and I don't think I've ever seen. I think I saw one time, like 50 years ago, two professional teams within the same league sued each other. And there is, believe it or not, an NBA constitution. Did you know this?
I did not.
I didn't know that either.
Yes, it's quite serious, obviously, and it says that that if one team has a beef with another team, the commissioner is the one that gets to decide it, not the courts. It's trade secret stuff, which is that there's a real nerdy wonk basement guy for the Knicks who I guess is their cybermetrics guy. The Moneyball guy is down there in the basement learning how, the certain players rebound or box out or move without the ball. And it's such a special talent that the Raptors wanted it. And it's so bad that the Raptors have it that the Knicks feel like they're owed money. Well, let's settle this on the court, guys.
Yeah. Well, that'll never work for the Knicks, as you know. So it is what it is. Jeremy, as always, we love it. The Rosenthal, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Rosenthal Report.
The Rosenthal Report!
See you guys.
that was anticlimactic. All right, Jeremy, thank you so much. Have a great day. Jeremy Rosenthal with Fox News Radio. Coming up, I'll get to Lance and Lee. Oh.
He's mad.
I'll get to Lance and Lee coming up. Mad in a way that's like I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore? Or is he like a mad scientist trying to protect his true identity, which is leaking out ever so slowly, in my opinion? But I'm not going there. Steve Ponte Mazda, new Mazda sales event is back. They've increased their inventory, over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, 5s, 50s, 70s, and 90s. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. As Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda. From the dealership that's achieved first place, and it is well-deserved, they treat their customers like gold after the sale as well. First place nationally in customer satisfaction, Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And I also want to say, did you know there is so much going on in Herkimer County? If you're looking for adventure, you're looking for things to do this weekend. It's going to be back to a bit snowy and cold this weekend, or at least cold. Hit the slopes of McCauley Mountain, explore hundreds of miles of scenic, well-groomed snowmobile trails, or try ice fishing, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and the list goes on. What is happening? Their website is herkimercountyny.gov, where you can find everything that's ongoing and upcoming. Even if you have an event that you have coming up, you can submit it there, and they will promote it for you. Like the upcoming 50/50 winter raffle that is happening. The drawing will come on St. Patrick's Day, and it's for the Herkimer County Historical Society. Reach out to them to buy a ticket. It's a great opportunity to win half of the money involved, and it could be a pretty good amount.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out. Go to herkimercountyny.gov. If it's happening in Herkimer County. My Lance and Lee spinoff coming up.
Oh, yeah, good. I was going to say you
Is
have
that
to
what you
break.
want? Yeah, I'm going to break. I'm there. Remember, you don't care. You're leaving.
Break!
Quick break at WIBX.
Okay, we need brakes and tires. Check the battery too, please, and how about an oil change?
There's one local shop that really knows how important it is to keep our youngest passengers safe. Mulgeri's Auto Repair, family owned and operated since 1928. That's 3 generations of family that's been looking out for your family. Trusted for nearly 100 years to keep your car on the road, plus towing, brakes and tires, and good, low mileage used cars. Mulgeri's Auto Repair, 501 Albany Street, Utica. Call 315-733-5033.
This is Anthony Constantino, CEO of Sticker Mule. I'm a proud Trump supporter, running for Congress for the seat being vacated by Elise Stefanik. I built a successful internet company with nearly 1,000 people in upstate New York. However, much of upstate New York suffers from lack of access to high-speed internet that's necessary to build great companies and enable high-paying remote jobs. In fact, much of our district lacks access to strong, dependable cell phone service too. Of course, we must have both for public safety and to grow the economy. When elected to Congress, I will work quickly with President Trump to fix this problem. With high-speed internet, dependable cell service, and by renewing President Trump's tax cuts, both for businesses and individuals, we will create jobs and return economic prosperity to upstate New York. Follow me, Anthony Constantino, on Facebook today to learn more about my plans to make New York great again. I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
How much time do I have, Andrew?
You got it right there.
I'm going to need 45 minutes. Send it up. For those who don't know, Andrew is spending his final days with us. He will be gone after the Radiothon. We'll be broadcasting live from Utica College's Gymnasium, Utica University's Gymnasium on Friday.
That is correct.
It's part of our Radiothon. Let me read a couple of these. Andrew, when you leave, don't look back. It's amazing how the show has turned into Rachel Maddow. Where in the hell have you been? I have not changed an ounce in the last 15 years since I've been here. Well, 14, any. And then he keeps throwing him in there. And oh, by the way, why can't Celeste Friend or Katie Aiello replace Andrew?
Okay.
Her and Bill would have similar opinions. Bill Morehouse, if you can't chant USA, 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 then get the hell out of the country, or we could just deport you. Okay there, Bill. You might want to slow down a little bit. Okay. So I want to tell you, I have two comments here. First of all, Ryan Nobles is a journalist. He is a news person who is telling you the options, what has to be done, what you expect to be done, what's coming next. A lot of it is just trying to figure it out based on news gathering. He is not somebody who's giving you a total bunch of his personal opinion. But let me give you a couple who have. Here from the left. It's not both sides. We are where we are in this country because Trump and the GOP are nothing more than schoolyard bullies and the weak kids who worship them. Now that is an opinion from the left. Can I give you one from the right? The Dems can't stand up for a kid with cancer and a family of a man killed during Trump's assassination attempt. Tells you all you need to know about the Democrats. They are disgusting. So there are examples of... Now, I understand, Lance, you want to hear all of Rob's comment. That's what you want. In fact, he's calling for Rob to be Andrew's replacement. Although he did say maybe Red could spice things up a little bit. Are you Red? I think you're Red.
I guess I am.
All right. Anyway, the reality is you can't handle it because what you want is a biased account of you want someone to cheer with you. Well, you've come to the wrong freaking place. If you're a liberal and you want us to stinking pile on Trump every single day, you have come to the wrong place. It ain't happening here. But I am going to tell you how I perceive what is going on in a fair and from a news perspective. And if you don't like it, I mean, a good example is the first 5 minutes of Kilmeade yesterday. If you listen to that, I mean, he is not anti-Trump, but he's not going to be happy with absolutely everything that Trump or Vance does. Get your head out of your ass, for God's sakes. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't have said that.
I should have said
Get your
that.
head out of your Ash Wednesday.
Yeah. Come on, people. Wake the hell up and have a mind of your own. Look at things differently and remember something. Unless we no longer are a republic, and you're going to believe all the things that people are saying, that Trump's going to come in, he's going to become a dictator and take over the country. I don't believe that crap. But if you do believe that, then this is the final election. We've already voted to be the last election, right? I don't believe that. Do you really believe that? I don't think we do. I would simply say there's going to come a point where this pendulum is going to swing the other way. And you're going to be stuck with precedent dealing with some liberal Democrats. Just be careful. Gotta go. Kilmeade is next.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares, the Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square media station.
An accused ISIS terrorist is due in court today in Virginia. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Linked to the 2021 bombing during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan that killed 13 American troops. President Trump broke the news during his address to Congress.
Tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe tells Fox Business.
We worked with Pakistani intelligence.
And he was there when that suspect, Mohammed Sharifullah, arrived late last night.
To face justice.
Days after President Trump's confrontation with Ukraine's leader in talks to stop the war with Russia, the president, during last night's address, read a letter he got from Volodymyr Zelensky.
The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer.
The administration paused all military aid to Ukraine this week, saying that the Ukrainians need to get serious about what it will take to achieve peace. Yesterday, Zelensky outlined some first steps in what the beginnings of a ceasefire might look like.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. Now back to the president last night and touted what he'd done since returning to the White House.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Republicans cheered, but not Democrats. They booed at times. Some held up anti-Trump signs. Congressman Al Green stood up and shouted at the president.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Well, then House Speaker Mike Johnson had Green removed, prompting the president to say,
I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy.
In the Democratic response, Senator Lissa Slotkin said the president's being reckless with tariffs and DOJ-led cutbacks, warning of a recession and...
Your premiums and prescriptions will cost more because the math on his proposals doesn't work without going after your health care.
America's listening to Fox News.
It's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard. With a qualifying plan, you can choose an iPhone 14 or a Samsung Galaxy for $0. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks, just honest-to-goodness wireless price